Got yourself something funky.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh, you really did get the thing. That's a nice crown. I like it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it leaves lines on the head if I put it on there for too long.
Aw, you should wear it the whole episode.
I should. I was disappointed that this does not make any noise. It's just... So I had to grab some vampire teeth that make a little whistly noise to mix it.
Oh, that's fun.
Look at you improvising. I love it.
I thought about, well, Aaron improvised and gave them to me. I thought about putting in the cat's eyes like that. I didn't have time though, so I think the rest of the show I'm just gonna be like this.
Yeah, that works. I'm good. I'm in.
Cool.
Sure.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I can't function that way, but oh wait, even better. Hold on. Wow, this is blinding though. I can't do this. Okay. So hopefully this isn't your first time seeing the 42 because you don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Welcome to the circus.
Yeah, so this is full 42. This is our 42nd episode, so we're being a little silly and whatnot. If at any time you would like and subscribe, surely the 42nd episode would be the time to do that, right?
Agreed.
We talk about board games and geek stuff and whatnot. And yeah, so I changed the background a little bit so you got the full 42 logos on either side of you.
I feel like I have company down here now. It's great. Yeah.
So now it's all over the place. You should have worn your jersey, your 42
did.
jersey. Oh, you did. There you go. Look at that. I couldn't see it because of the gremlin. Is that Spike in front of you?
Spike. Come on, man. I hope this is not people's first show. Christ.
Stripe.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the holidays, and this is a great Christmas movie. So
It is a good Christmas. It's not the best Christmas movie. That's Die Hard.
agree. Maybe not.
Are you saying Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie, or it's not the best?
It's not the best Christmas movie.
Okay. Well, what's the best Christmas movie?
In my opinion, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Seriously?
And then and then Elf is like right after.
All right.
Yeah,
That's
by
fine.
far. I know I don't do as we'll discuss in a few minutes. I'm not very good at doing tops of stuff, but Christmas Vacation is by far the number one.
Yeah. Despite the title of this episode being our top 42 board games.
That's on you, man. From the beginning, we've talked about how I do not do tops. It just doesn't work for me. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Danielle. And Corey.
Corey,
Christmas Story.
Christmas Story is good, but it's not Christmas Vacation.
It's a good one. All right. So today we are talking about our top 42 board games. We're also going to talk about the MCU announcements later on. What else are we talking about?
I don't know, but now I really just want to talk about Christmas movies. Is that okay?
I don't care. We can talk about whatever we want.
We can make.
We'll
that
have to
a
wait
full
on the list.
We can definitely make that a full episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll,
yeah,
have to
yeah.
we'll have to do that around Christmas time.
And Andrew's joining in with the Die Hard. I get so that's 2 votes for Die Hard.
It's a
We
good.
got another
movie.
Christmas story though.
Come on, Donnie.
What do you mean? Come on, Donnie.
Not number one. It's good, but it's the right answer here is Christmas Vacation.
I think Christmas Story gives you a little like if you connect with some of those memories growing up, then it really connects. But
I don't even think I've seen it.
I'm sure.
Christmas
you haven't?
Story?
Yeah. I don't know if certain things will connect anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
like the older you are, of course, you'll connect a little bit more to it, like wanting a BB gun and probably also being male, right? Because it's all a little boy's desires for. I mean, there's a lot of family stuff in there that could translate either way, but
I think some stuff holds up, and some stuff is definitely dated.
I don't even remember a lot about Christmas Vacation.
Oh, Chris.
It's like it's a tradition every year.
I don't think I've seen it. I think I saw it once.
Oh my god.
Oh
Like in
my-
the 90s?
this is going down. This is supposed to be a celebration, and I am just
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
oh,
Oh, well, apologies to our viewers,
Oh. God.
This is
I mean, I've seen the Wally World one 1,000 times, you know, the original. So,
Yeah.
and that's better, right?
Mm.
Is that not better? The best one?
No.
It's not the best one?
No.
You think the Christmas one's the best one?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Maybe I should rewatch it.
You
Yeah.
have to.
It ages very well.
Man, this went downhill quickly. How many minutes are we in? And we're 6
5
minutes.
minutes.
into the
Not
show.
downhill. Oh, look at that. Wait, for like Christmas Story and Die
Oh, man.
Die Hard, yeah.
See, Andrew was such a fun guest to have on.
Yeah.
Like, I was so amazed at the amount of stuff he's worked on. That was a really cool show.
Yeah,
Sorry,
if you haven't seen that episode, you should go back and watch it. We talked about like 90% board games, and like right at the end when it was time to go, he was like, "Oh, I love Star Wars." I was like, "Oh no, we should talk for 2 more hours." And,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yes, so I don't know. What about the Grinch?
It's good.
The Grinch, well, I like the cartoon original one.
You don't like the new one?
I haven't seen it.
I very much dislike the what's his name, Jim Carrey one.
I haven't seen
But
that one either.
the new one, really good.
Is it?
Really good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're seeing.
I just nothing in my opinion can replace the look of the dog in the cartoon one. Like, he just makes the movie to me. So
Yeah.
it's like you can't get that.
I mean, they have the dog in the new one.
Yeah, but does he look the same?
I think
Like,
he
does he have
kinda
like
does.
I don't know, there's something about his face, his eyes, like the puppy eyes that I don't know. He just
I think there's more to him too. Like I think he has more to the story.
oh, okay. Well, then I'll have to try it.
In the new one or the Jim Carrey one?
In the new one.
Huh.
I'm trying to block the Jim Carrey one out of my head.
Yeah, I
Why?
never saw that
It's
one.
not that bad.
Oh, it's awful. Well, because I love the Grinch so much that
Yeah.
whenever they made a live one and it was that bad, it was even worse for me, right?
Hmm.
It's that expectation thing.
Sure. Oh, we could talk about expectations later when we talk about Marvel movie I saw today too.
Aw.
Oh no. So we're gonna talk about Shang-Chi.
Why don't we
bit
just
later.
start there then?
Well, I don't want to start there because in case there's spoilers if somebody hasn't seen it, because it just
Okay.
came out on Disney Plus on Friday. So
Sure.
we'll leave it for the end. That way,
Okay,
you know, people can skip that part if they haven't seen it yet.
gotcha.
Yeah, we'll warn anybody before spoilers come up. Oh, look at all
Oh, I
these.
didn't know you worked on the Die Hard one too, Andrew. That's awesome.
Yeah,
It had a very cool the board. The way the board opened up and it represented the different. That was really well done. I don't know if you had a part in that, but that was probably my favorite part of that game was how the board worked in the story.
I don't know,
still
but
need
I
to
didn't
play
know that there was a Christmas Vacation card game, but I feel like I need that now.
now you're gonna have to get it.
Yeah.
So we're talking about our top 42 games. We're not doing 42 each. We have come up with about 14 plus games. And why do you look confused, Mike?
I thought I have 44 on my list.
Yeah, no,
Well,
we said
That's
we,
fine. I
we
said
said it was
plus.
a combined 42.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said plus, right?
Sure.
So what we're gonna do is we'll just do number 42, and somebody will start, and we'll just go in a row until we hit down to 1, and that'll be the top combined 42, which is really like all three of ours top 14, unless there's a crossover, in which case someone will pull from the other.
Yeah, I can sub in some stuff if there's duplicates.
I've purposely tried to cross over all of your stuff so that you have to get rid of all your good stuff. No, I'm kidding.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
But
I
the
don't
stuff that's past my 14 is still really good. So it's okay if it makes it on the show.
I thought I'd get about maybe 20, and then I looked up and I had 40 on there easily, and I was like, okay, well, so that was pretty easy. But the sorting of them, because Katya and I follow directions, ours are from like the highest ones to best, and then Mike here, because he can't commit to anything, as being better than the other, right? You put them in alphabetical order. Okay.
Accurate. I mean, those that have been watching the show know that I don't do tops very well. It's very hard for me to pick a top 5 in a specific order. My number 1 always will be Arkham, no matter what. It's always Arkham. So I don't
Spoilers.
think. What'd you say?
Said spoilers.
No.
Oh, you're doing it in alphabetical order, so that okay.
For that reason, Arkham is not on my list.
Really?
Yes.
So
But that
in
no, it
our
has to
top
be.
42 games, you did not put your top game in it.
No. I mean, it's always on the list, right? Like, that's always my number 1.
Okay, so then let's put that on number 1. Spoiler alert.
No, it's not on my list.
No, he's sneaking it in there. He's making
know.
it top 43 without actually making it 43.
No, I have 40. I have 43. I have 4 that I'm not including. I'm not including my Batman game. I'm not including your Troubles game. I'm not including Arkham, and I'm not including Holy.
All right.
Why
They're
wouldn't
not
you
on the
include
list.
Holy?
Because with Floodgate, there's another one on there, and I didn't want to do too many of them because that was weird for me. So I kept those 4 off, and I have 43 games. I'm sure some of them. So I have a prediction in a 42 fashion. I predict that 4 of mine will be on Katya's list, and I predict 2 of mine will be on your list.
Oh yeah, we need to write those predictions down.
I mean, I listened to some of the rules before the show.
Okay, so did you? So did you write that down somewhere? Your predictions? Because I'm gonna say I think I have 1 with Chris and only 3 with Michael.
Okay.
I will have 1 crossover with Katya, and that's it.
Okay.
I'm not even that sure that Chris and I will have a crossover, but I'm putting it there just in case.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So then who starts with the number 42?
Since it's just random for him, I'll always start with Mike.
Great. Mine are in now reverse alphabetical order.
Okay.
Because I alphabetized from top to bottom from number 1 down. So my
Hold on, let me share my screen so I can pull it up while you talk about it.
Sure.
Go ahead and tell them what it is.
It is The Thief of Baghdad.
The Thief of Baghdad.
I think more recently it's called 12 Thieves, maybe.
I've never even heard of that.
It's fantastic.
1948. That's probably not it.
Probably not it, Chris.
That one?
I don't know. It's so tiny on my screen. Go. Oh, you know what we should do? Yeah, that one, but an older version of it. Before we get going, everyone that's watching, and we'll remind you along the way, if you could comment just with the number 42. We have a giveaway we're doing in a little while. We had a poll on the Facebook, and all those people that entered the poll, I already have them up on the list, are entered. So in the comments, if you could just comment with the number 42. You'll be entered in, and we'll do that a little later on, and we'll remind every now and then to comment. I haven't seen anyone comment. Oh, there is a delay though, so maybe they'll start coming in a second.
Nope,
Well, there's a bunch of people commented earlier about stuff, but they didn't do the number 42 because that was just explained.
Well, technically, Danielle did have happy 42nd show. Corey did say happy 42nd, but if you guys could all, there you go. If you could all put in 42, just the 42. You'll be entered into a prize. So yes, the Thief of Baghdad, more recently called 12 Thieves. The objective is to get into the palaces to steal the treasure. And the way the card play in the game moves the guards around, moves your players around, and you have to have a certain amount of people in front of the palace to get your thieves into the palace to lift out the top treasure. The treasures get harder to go as the treasures are lifted from each palace. But the way the colors work, if you're at the white palace and you want to go to the purple palace, you can play a purple card to go there, or play a white one because you're there. And you're moving all of your the bigger guys in the front there. You're moving them as the guards, and they're sneaking your thieves in, and the littler guys are the thieves. and you need a certain amount of them in the palace in order to lift the treasure. And it's first to however many treasures. But the game, it's easy to learn. It's fun to bring out. It's got a fun table presence, and I love it.
Great. Yeah, you've mentioned that before.
Great game.
There's Corey not doing the number thing.
It's the number. It's 42. I didn't say numbers or spelling. And Corey always thinks outside the box. That's why I love him.
All right, Katya.
All right. Well, my number 12 would be actually Gloomhaven. It's probably a game I've played more, or like it's probably one of the ones I've played the most. So I have to put it in my top 14.
What is this Gloomhaven you speak of?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
It's a really underrated game.
Right.
Very indie. Not many people know about it.
Thank you for spreading the word.
Yeah. I feel like I should get paid to, advertise this now, because it's really been under the radar for a lot of people.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
I never actually looked at the images on here. They had a lot of good art that I never saw. Because I only played the first round, but
I think for me, the reason why this game is so good is the fact that you have when you play your turn, you get an action from the bottom of the card and an action from the top. And so you have to, from your deck, pair two cards that you feel will, maximize your turn. One of them is usually movement based. The other one is usually attack based. And I just really like the dual use of the cards and the fact that that's how you battle versus, rolling some dice. I don't know. It's a game that, obviously you level up your characters, you equip equipment like armor and weapons and stuff like that. And pardon me, like I played a lot of RPGs on the PS3 and stuff like that. So it's, to me, like that felt like, okay, I'm leveling up my character, and now like I'm unlocking certain attacks. And so like, it just, I don't know. I just really enjoy the game.
It's a good one. I love that dual use of the cards, because you're always trying to figure out, you're always burning something, right? Whether if you're using the bottom, you're burning the top. If you're using the top, you're burning the bottom. And that choice of finding that combination, like you said about the top and the bottom, is fantastic.
Yeah, because there's a card that you may have held back because the attack is super, super powerful. But then by the time that you're left with that card, it's like, okay, but I'm too far to do this attack now. So it's like, maybe I'll wait, or I'll burn it and use the bottom action instead. So it's like, yeah, it's a lot of meaningful decisions I found, and so it's a game I really like.
It's a good one.
Nice. All right, my number, whatever. What number are we on then? We're at 40 now, right? So my number 40 would be Watson and Holmes from the Diaries of 221B.
Interesting.
Has either one of you played this?
Nope.
So this is the box cover I have. I know they came up with a newer box cover. So if you look it up, I think it's all blue or something like that. But basically, yeah. So cards like you pick a case and you read out to everybody. You read, the intro. Oh, a dead body's been found, and the blah blah blah. Right. And there's some clues in that story. I'm trying. I don't want some spoilers of these cases to show up, but you each have a character that you are, like Mycroft and whatnot. And it's competitive. You go around. I'm trying to find the picture. You go around, and that's not the picture. There we go. So you lay out the board with these locations, and you put your person where you go to that location. Once everybody's picked a single location, you turn it over and you read to yourself the little story that's going on. And then after that, you decide where to go after that. And you're getting clues, and sometimes the people are talking to you or lying and things like that. But at some point, Sherlock Holmes already knows the answer. So at some point, you go down here to say, I know what it is. And you go and tell Sherlock, and he tells you if you're right or wrong. So it's competitive. Whoever can solve the mystery first. It's the closest I've ever felt to actually being in one of these mysteries. Because when you read it, you're like, oh, maybe I ought to go talk to that person that they're talking about, or maybe I ought to go to the crime scene and look at the body, that kind of stuff. So it's really good. It's pretty clean, pretty easy to play, and I don't know. I can't remember how many it plays up to. It's at least 6, though. I think
So do they have like different cases every time, or do you have to reuse all those cards?
Yeah, it comes with 12 cases.
Okay.
I think that they were going to do a boost of like 4 more cases or something like that. I don't know if that's out or not because I still haven't finished my 12, and I played it quite a bit. I think I've played 8 of them.
Okay.
And it's not a super long game. I'd say maybe, I don't know, 40, probably 60 to 90 minutes.
42 minutes.
42 minutes exactly, if you're that good.
We need to make a game that's the playtime on it.
42 minutes. That'd be good.
Isn't that Mysterium?
What? Oh, this game?
No. The playtime on Mysterium.
Is it?
I'm looking it up now.
The playtime on the old Mysterium anyway is 30 to 60 minutes.
No.
I don't know about the American version. That's the Polish version. But anyway, that's my number 40.
Cool.
On one of those cards you had there, I saw a QR code. Is that a thing?
Did you? Oh wow. You keep notes throughout the whole thing too. If we don't see. Oh yes. It's not. Yeah. So it's not a card. That's a little booklet. Instead of reading the booklet, you can scan that QR code and a voice will read it to it.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's pretty good too. It has some sound and effects and stuff like that. So, and these pipes tell you the difficulty of the case that you're working on.
Neato.
So,
yeah.
Do me a favor on Board Game Geek and look up Mysterium.
Mysterium. We talked about this last week, didn't we?
I don't know.
Look at the playtime.
42 minutes. Weird.
That's awesome.
Weird that you would know that.
Oddly specific. It's part of that stupid information that's only useful in moments like this that stick in my head that kick out more useful information that I need that I forget later on.
Oh, you already got a agreement, Katya.
Great game.
So that was our number 40. Watson
sorry.
and Holmes. Katya, 39?
No, that would be Michael.
Oh, Mike, 39.
We're just going to cycle through?
Yeah.
Okay. So my second on from the bottom on my list will be the Reckoners. Oh, wait.
No crossovers yet.
This game is fantastic. It's cooperative. It's based on Sanderson's novels. You play a group of normal humans trying to research these enhanced beings who all have the superpower. So basically, it's superheroes, and they're all evil, or they're all doing bad. You got to research them to figure out what their weaknesses are, and then you can either use that against them to attack them or whatever. The dice system is great. You roll. You must keep one in round. You get 3 rolls. You must keep one, at least one for the first roll, but you can keep as many as you want. Then you get to re-roll all the stuff. You must keep one for 2, and then everything else gets put in 3. And everyone's got their special abilities. You're using them to do your research, to do your attacks, to gain money, to get equipment at the end of the round. They use game trays. These things are phenomenal for the storage inside the game. It's a big box game, but it's really, really well done.
So it's kind of like Boys, the show Boys.
Sure. Yep. But
have you not seen that?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you
What?
Put that on your list.
Yeah.
Keep adding to my list.
Do you want to hear a little fun fact about this game?
Sure.
So last year when I did the one mosaic for Tom Vessel, I needed certain pieces of a certain color, and I got a bin or like a box full of random pieces. And the one piece was a small, what looked like a blue dustpan from the Reckoners. I don't know if you can go back to like the little blue thing that sort of like slides along your board there.
Yeah, the tracker. Yeah.
So when I asked people, what game is this from? Oh, yeah, they showed it in the previous picture. But anyways, you're going a little fast.
Right there?
One more.
There.
That blue thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm pointing. Everybody can see me pointing on my screen.
Yeah.
That thing.
Oh, the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
It's
so
a curling
it's like a dustpan when you flip it upside because it has a ridge. So, anyways, when I was asking people what piece, like what game is this from, and people were saying the Reckoners, and I knew nothing about the game, but I thought somewhere it had to do with the dustpan because that's really what it looks like.
To me, it looks like a curling stone.
Oh yeah, no. But it's a little line when you flip it upside down. But so now it's really funny for me to see what the game is actually about. It has nothing to do with cleaning whatsoever.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Nice.
Oh, that's really funny.
You're number 38.
It's a good one. It's worth checking out. If I know you don't like cooperatives, but it's really well done.
I always say I don't like cooperatives, and then I tend to like semi-cooperatives. So
okay.
Our number 38 is Targi.
It's a good one. It was almost on my list.
See, if it was on your list, then we would have had 4 in common. But I think we'll only have 3 because you didn't put it on.
That's a great game.
The newer box, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I think the original one had the male eyes.
No, that's the original one.
Oh yeah.
So the one you just showed is the base game, and then the expansion, I think, is a woman.
Oh, okay.
Which I have somewhere in here. And right here.
I've had this for years. I still haven't learned it.
It's really good, and it's a 2-player game. That's the expansion box here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Pardon me. So it's exactly that. So on your turn, you're placing your 3 meeples, and when you're placing them, basically the person your opponent cannot place it opposing to where you just placed yours. So basically you've claimed that row or column to choose from. So what will happen is where you placed your meeples, you will go and select the card or do the action on the card that intersects with those 2 meeples. So that's basically how the selection of your actions work. So it's a worker placement, but it's just really unique in the sense that you can never go on the same tile or card as your opponent. And there's also one that kind of blocks as well. So you can't on your turn go opposing to that one or something like that. So anyways, and you're collecting resources, you're collecting Oasis cards and stuff like that to build your tableau. And then those cards have scoring points. It's just really, it's simple to learn and it's elegant. Like, I don't know. I just really, really enjoy it.
Yep. It's going. Good pick.
Nice.
Have you played it? Hold on. Have you played it with the expansion or just the base?
I have. Yeah.
Does it add enough to warrant getting it? Because the base game is pretty solid by itself.
Yeah, the expansion adds so the woman, and she ends up I don't know if he's a thief or like the gray pawn there. He ends up going around the board, and that's kind of how you keep track of rounds. Mm-hmm. And she goes on the opposite direction. And if you go on the tile that she's on, you end up getting a bonus of some kind. There's something else too, and there's more in the cards as well. I can't remember. It's been a little while since we played it, but cool. It's it adds enough that I would probably always play with the expansion.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like not like I'm not saying that the base isn't enough, but
Sure.
it's not that much more to learn to play with. So
That's good to know.
yeah.
Cool. My number 37, I
Yes.
believe,
37.
is my one crossover with Katya.
Wow, it's way down on the list for you.
It is, but I'm
It's an
pretty
older
sure it's
game. I could
supposed
see
to be on
why.
hers. I do love this game though, and I always play it with the Artisans expansion, which are the little purple guys.
Yeah, the purple guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to it. Set collection, buying genies to give you special powers. But it all comes down to the choice of, grabbing. Wow, they got all the genies in there. Yeah, of grabbing the pieces that you want, moving them around, and selecting actions. So it always feels like you start the game with, oh, I think I'll try this, but then because of the way things lay out, you just have to kind of go with the flow. You go, oh well, that's too good to pass up, so you end up going a different direction.
Yep. That's why I love that game.
Yeah, there's a lot to explore. Every time I play the game, it feels like I did something different, but even just a little bit. So
the one thing that doesn't feel right in that game for me is in a 4-player game, by the time it gets back around to you can kind of plan, but you need like, all right, option A, that tile is going to be my tile because that tile is awesome. All right, that tile was just taken. So now this one's going to be my new one. And then that tile's taken. It's like, well, shit. All right, now I got to do this other thing that's my C option that's not as good. And it's really hard you're always eyeing something. And it's almost like a poker hand where you're like, I don't want to give away what I got, but I see something that's really good for me. And I hope you guys don't see it, but you always see it. And that planning that you're trying to do very rarely works out because someone else, if you're playing with the right people, they're going to see the same shit you do. And they're going to know that that's the tile to do because they're going to poach somebody or shoot somebody or however you want to, drop a camel, drop a tree. They see the same move you do. And it's very rare that it's like in a 4-player game that tile stays untouched or gets better by the time it's my turn.
Right. But the thing that happens also is that because people take their moves, they might create something new that wasn't there when the round started. And that's why I think this game is so cool.
Sure.
If you're 4th player and you potentially didn't spend any money in the bidding for your turn, you went on the slot that pushed you on the 0 and you're like, all right, I'll just deal with whatever's left. And then all of a sudden somebody goes like, yeah, I have this big turn, blah, blah, blah. And then you just look at the board and you're like, and you just opened this up or you just created this opportunity. So now I'm going to do that. And I didn't have to pay anything for it. And so I really like that.
I also like seeing something like, ooh, that's a 20-point move. So I'm at least going to put my thing on 8 to make them pay for getting those points because what you pay is also points, right? You're paying points to go first. So, yeah, it's got a lot of strategy to it.
It definitely, at the higher player count, it triggers AP because of that. Like some people might need a little bit more time to plan their turn. But if you play it 2 players, which it plays really well with just 2 players, you potentially have in your bidding, because you get 2 turns each, you can bid so that you get 2 turns one after the other. Yeah. So you can actually set yourself up to have like a really big turn, which is also really cool.
Yeah, the bidding can get really intense because you can get in a position where if you're like, I can't let them have 2 turns together. Because if you let the opponent have 2 turns together in the middle, like you're first and last, that's devastating. They could set themselves up too well.
Yeah.
So fun fact, that was on my list.
Really?
What? Boo.
All right.
I mean, good, but now I'm messed up on crossover.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
You don't normally talk about this game. You let Katya do all the talking. So
I don't love it as much, but I do love it. It is.
Wait. Which list? Is it on your 14? Because I
No,
wasn't.
this one is
If you
42.
wrote out 60 games, then that's not counting as a
I
crossover.
wrote 42 because we were doing 42 games, knowing that there would be crossovers and some would get dropped off. Technically, in alphabetical order, it's number 15.
15.
I mean, when you
Alright, not a
alphabetize
crossover.
it, when you alphabetize them, it's the 15th on the list. But
Would you put this in your top 14 games?
there's some good games on this list.
So that's a no. Okay,
No,
so
yes,
I go.
I probably would. The more I play it, the more I enjoy it. So yes.
Okay, all right.
All right. Asterisk on
Then
my
we're still friends.
defeat.
It's
Then we're still
great.
friends.
It's a great game.
All right, number 36.
So because of that, yeah, we're going on to number 36 with Michael. But because of that, I now substituted and I moved up a game and got rid of my 5 tribes. So we actually will end up with 42.
Yeah.
All right.
As they come up, I'll highlight them. I'm still going to crawl from the bottom to the top. And my next game is the Palaces of Carrara. Again, these are not in order. These are alphabetical. Reverse alphabetical, technically. Also, for those that are watching live, we've only got 4 people that have written this down. But if you drop a number 42, whether you want to spell it like Corey or just do the numbers like the other people, put a 42 in the comments, and we're going to have a prize drawn in a little while, in addition to the people that entered our poll on our Facebook page, which if you didn't do that, you should. But yeah, drop a 42 in the comments if you're watching. So Palaces of Carrara was, when I first got into board gaming, this was introduced to me, and it was super difficult to find. I actually have it back here, which you can't see. I have the German version of it with the English printed out rules, but I loved the way that dial moved and things got cheaper. There's this little push your luck kind of thing where if you don't take it now, somebody else is going to get it later. But the way that dial worked and the way that you're building the things in, everything about that game was super cool. And I think it still holds up to some of the better designs today.
Looks like a reprint's being made.
I was unaware. I hope they don't screw it up because I really like the way that the game plays right now.
I mean, you've got the old ones.
Palace of Carrara?
Palaces of Carrara. I think it's Palaces. I don't know.
Carrara.
Chris looked it up.
I'm taking notes for the ones that I feel like are going to be up my alley. So
I love it. That dial, the way the dial turns and you're buying the resources, if the resource isn't there, it's free. But you get to turn it like that red. Once you get, it's hard to really go with what's going on there. But if you look at the way the dial works, like the upper left where it says Carrara, you notice that there's a black and it's worth 1. When you rotate the dial, any black on that pie slice, you then pay for that top pie slice, but there's no black there. So if you go to purchase, it's free. And then if you rotate it one more time, the blue drops off. So if you were to buy from that one pie slice and there's black and blue, they're free for you. But it's really cool the way that they use that, and then how everything else works with the points and the way that you're building stuff, and you're getting points for building stuff in the different cities. It's a really cool game, and it's great that if they're doing a reprint, because maybe people will start selling their hard to find copies for the new edition. And I don't know what they're going to do to the new one, but man, it's pretty solid.
that's him celebrating that game.
Yeah, celebrating the reprint.
Nice. Same artist is updating the art. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. All right, so it's coming to GameFound.
Oh, Game Brew. Oh my God! I think I just saw the announcement for this,
Awesome.
Yesterday.
Well, there you go.
There you are.
Oh. Yep.
Cool.
They just posted something. It was either yesterday or this morning. I didn't realize it was the same
Perfect.
game. That's how different it probably looks now.
And we got 2 new people dropping to 42. Diana, hi, Diana. I hope you and David are watching. Thank you for joining in. And Kate as well, obviously. But Diana and David were some new friends that I made at QSCon. They're really good people, and I'm glad that they're joining us.
Oh, nice. Welcome. So number 36, Katya, right?
35.
35. I'm horrible at this. What's your number 35?
So is it already me? Yeah, it is. So I had to shuffle things around a little bit. I'm going with Skull.
Good one.
Yeah. It's a really fun party game. It's so simple, but man, it's just, I love it. For those who haven't played it, you have a pile of roses. I think it's four roses, or no, 3 roses and 1 skull. And you're going around the table and you're placing down, like face down, you're placing your coaster, and it either has a rose or a skull. And basically, once it's made it around at least once, then people can start deciding if they want to keep adding coasters or if they want to start guessing how many roses they can flip. But you have, the tricky part is you have to start with your own. So if on your turn you went and placed a skull and you start saying, I think I can flip 2, well, you better hope that somebody else will outbid you, because then you're going to have to flip your own skull.
Yeah.
And then when you lose, one of your coasters goes away. So eventually you might end up with no skull, or eventually you might end up with no roses, which means that you can no longer win the game, but you're still in it to try and, eliminate people. So, but yeah, it's really fun. I really like
One
it.
of the reasons why I said that I wasn't going to have any, except for one crossover, was so far, other than Gloomhaven, I have not played any of the games you guys have mentioned.
Really? Oh, this one's so good.
Well, looks good. I'd try it. Just haven't.
And the art is like all the
I like the
flowers
art.
and the skulls on it are so cool. Like each faction has their own flair. Like, yeah, you got the Viking one. There's one that's more like samurai like. There's one that's more like Sugar Skull. And so, yeah, I really love it.
Cool.
Hmm.
All right, number 34.
Yeah, back to you, Chris.
All right, my number 34 would be Altiplano.
I've never played that, but I really want to try it.
Have you played this one,
Same.
Mike?
I have not. I really want to, though.
See, no crossovers. Altiplano is trying to find a picture of all of the stuff out on the table, because it's got quite a bit. But it's basically a bag builder. Yeah, they're going to show every little bit. It's basically a bag builder. You've got your little guy. You get one guy or girl, and they wander around. You just pick a direction. You can move one, or you can use a cart to move further. But you're going to a spot and you're doing stuff at those spots. So you choose the action, but you get to pull your resource. That's weird. That does not come with the game. That comes with the game, though. That's the first player marker, which is just ridiculous. All right, finally. So here's how it lays out.
They had a giant 5-foot one at DEFCON a couple years ago. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's head. I'm just trying to find a table present. Okay, so here's how it is. You go to these different spots and choose what to do. You have your own board here, and you draw your resources out of a bag and put them on the board to decide what you're going to do. So instead of drawing workers from a bag or something like that, you're actually drawing your resources. And the cool thing is, once you spend the resources, it just goes in this little box right here. And then once you're out of resources in your bag, you just take that box and put it back. So you never really lose the resources you earn. Your bag just gets heavier and heavier with resources, except for money you actually spend. But yeah, this is another kind of game where every time I play, it feels like a different, like I got to do something different, because there's so many resources in this game. Every pile here, there's 4 here, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 12 or something resources in this game, and you'll go whole games without touching half of them. You could go a whole game without ever touching alpaca or wool or anything like that. You spent all your time mining silver and fishing and whatever else, building houses. And I mean, you could just have such different games every single time. And you still have the potential to win no matter what route you go. It's really nice. So yeah, totally suggest this game. Oh, look, they got their own alpaca there too. It's funny. Oh, they got it all. They put their tokens in little glass protectors. Wow.
Yeah, the coin
That would
And
be a
your
lot
bag
of
gets
little
really
protection.
heavy.
That'd be a lot of protection. Yeah. Wow. That does not come with it either.
That was a deluxe. That was a deluxe upgrade.
So, yep, that's number 35. Mike, number 34, right? Yep, that's how numbers work.
Sure, yeah. Whatever number you say, I'm just going to read the next
No,
one up on my list.
no, we're on to number 33.
What?
I'm checking.
Are you
them
messing
off.
with me? That's 33. So I did 34.
Yes.
Okay.
I have no idea what you're doing.
Oh, maybe not. Hold on.
I'm reading from
Mike
the bottom
went
up.
first.
Mike
Michael
went first.
right?
I went
Yep.
first.
Michael, myself, Chris. Michael. Yeah,
Oh, is that
Michael's
what we
doing
were
30.
looking at? The Geek Up bits?
I think they
Yeah.
have. I don't think those were not those the coin savers. I don't think were.
No, I think those. Yeah, they're the capsules that people buy on Amazon because the bits are too expensive. I am taking notes, Corey. We're on 33 right
right.
now with Michael.
33, Mike.
Perfect. Play the tape. Huh. Number 33. I hope Andrew is still watching. The next one on my list is Thanos Rising.
Ah,
It kind of encompasses the Rising series. Each one of them has some sort of difference. I do like the Star Wars, the Dark Side Rising, just because of the content. But Thanos Rising was the first one in the series. Super approachable. I like that. That was cool.
oh, these painted minis?
Yeah, those are pretty neat. Especially Doctor Strange. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so each person is a leader of the group. And you go to a different section of the main board, and you try and either defeat the baddies or recruit people to your team, which makes you stronger. You each start with a certain combination. Andrew's still watching. I'm not doing this because Andrew is watching. This was legitimately on my list, and I'm sure he can attest. I absolutely adore this game. Each like group there, each person that you're trying to recruit to your team will give you some sort of benefit, someplace else to use your dice, more dice to roll, and you're kind of doing it not Yahtzee style, but you re-roll. As long as every roll you either burn a die or spend a die on one of those cards in your sector, whether it's to defeat a baddie or to recruit a hero or vehicle. The game's super approachable, super fun, especially if you like the content. Easy to learn, fun to play, difficult, and it ramps up. You can make it easier by including less villains in the deck, or make it harder by including all the villains in the deck. Yeah, super fun. I wish Thanos had a little bigger head, but honestly, that's my only knock on the game. The game's fantastic.
Wow, that looks right.
It's got a tiny head.
Yeah, that's how it looks in the movie.
He's got a big head in the movie.
Yeah, but his body's huge. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
I need to play this. I've been wanting to play this. Maybe I'll grab it off the shelves at BGG Con this week.
You should definitely play it. I love the fight with the Infinity Gauntlet. Every round you're rolling 2 dice to start. One of them is for Thanos movement, and one of them is for the stones. And if any of those at the end of your turn, if any of those stones are full up with cubes, they actually activate. It's as if Thanos got that stone. And then every time that color would be rolled, it activates, and it's hitting your leader or hitting the person with the most damage or whatever the stones do. The same thing with Star Wars. It's very thematic. Each character, what they do in the game, what the stones are doing in the game, it really just sings, especially if you're a fan of the IP. It's just fantastic.
In our episode with Andrew a couple episodes ago, right? He gave us some cool backstories to a lot of this. So go check it out.
Yeah.
Okay, what number are we on now? Because I'm done
We're
guessing.
on 32.
Okay. And that's you?
Oh, that would be me.
That is you.
I should pay attention. My next game is Railroad Inc.
Good one.
I've played that so much, and it's it's easy to bring because it's a small box.
The blue edition, I imagine.
Yeah, it's the one I have. Yes. Yeah, it's just. I mean, I've talked about it on the show before, but you're basically drawing roads, and trying to make the longest road the longest railroad, and you're also trying to connect as many exits as you can, trying to put as many in the middle square as you can to score points. And so and then, it comes with a couple expansion dice that you can use, which is lakes and rivers. So it's a super simple roll and write, but I don't know, I don't get tired of it. So
I have a question.
yep.
After playing Avenue at QsCon, where do you place that in relation to Railroad Inc?
I would say I still prefer Railroad Inc. just because Avenue gave me so much AP. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm not prone to AP to begin with, like, in a game. But man, that game just, I don't know if it was the way that the roads connect, like in like I don't know. And the fact that you're not always connecting to something, like you could just put it anywhere and then it just sits there for a while. My mind wasn't. I was struggling, but I really enjoyed it anyways. Like, it was still really, really fun. But I think I still prefer this.
Fair enough.
Cool. So now number 32.
31.
31 is Root.
Wow. All right.
Oh,
So Root, again, not a crossover, I imagine.
Nope.
Root is the lone wolf here. Root is well known. I don't have to explain it too much, I imagine, but it's basically a war game between asymmetrical factions that are cute little animals. This one's my favorite. The Wanderer guy, or Vagabond, I think he's called. Is he? Is Vagabond right? Tell me if I'm right, chat. You play one single guy if you play him, and he goes around and gets little adventures while all the cats are fighting with the birds, and there's other factions you can get with expansions and stuff too. But you can craft items. You can, depending on what you are, if you're the woodland people, you can revolt. You can build buildings. If you're the cats, it's so different every time you play. Even the way you play is different per faction. It's fun to do. That would be closer to the bottom of my list, or higher, whichever way you want to say that. But it would be higher if it wasn't so hard to teach. Because you have to teach each person what their faction does. You can't just teach the game. You have to teach kind of like the base idea of the game, get the 30 points, you win kind of thing, and basically how cards work. And then I have to go, okay, you're playing cats. Here's what you do with cats. You're playing birds. Here's what And if you don't remember one of those, then it really slows stuff down. So whoever's teaching really has to know all of those factions. And right now, I think there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 factions at this point. I haven't learned the last expansion I got with the underground moles and all that stuff yet. So
I really want the components. That's all.
The components.
How many of the factions have you played?
I've played,
not seen played yourself.
Yeah, I've played all of them, all of the first 6. So the 4 base ones, the birds, the cats, the woodland creatures, and the vagabond. And then, we got someone else saying 42 in here.
Hey, Brett.
Thank you. So I've played those, and then I played the first expansion, which had the river folk and the lizard cult. And I've played both of those as well.
Yeah.
I have the other expansion. I just haven't had a chance to dive into the other ones. But yeah, I think it comes with like crows and moles that dig underground or something like that. I can't wait to see what those are like. But from a design point of view, I think every designer should really dive into and just see what it's like, because the way they got all of these factions to be completely different but balance off of each other was just really elegant, and it's impressive on a design level. So, and there's a cat. Whoa, she's pretty.
He's playing cats. Also,
All right.
to number 30 with Michael.
So
30.
The number 30 is me, right?
Mhm.
Yep. Tell us another game that's not in print.
Thanos Rising's in print.
You're right. That one is.
The Reckoners is in print. Thief of Baghdad's in print. The only one is Palaces of Carrara. And my next one.
It's like he's a mind reader.
I know, right? So again, I guess I just want to remind everybody to. I know Brett, you kind of just threw the 42 in there unknowingly, but for those that are watching, drop a 42 in the comments. There's going to be something given out in a little while, in addition to the poll that we had on the Facebook channel. And if you're not part of it, join the Facebook channel, join our Discord. We have a really cool community that we're building.
Those links are in the description if you're watching this on YouTube.
Yeah. But yeah, for those watching, drop a 42. For those that already have done it, thank you. And yeah, my next out of print game for people, this is probably, well, one of two. There's two in here there are three in here that are harder to find. But yeah, Star Wars the Queen's Gambit.
Pay attention, Chris.
Sorry. Cat's so cute. Queen's Gambit. Yum.
No, Brett, you don't have to be present.
Star Wars. There we go.
Yeah, I've talked about this on the show probably a couple times, but this game just brings together the fight that's going on in episode 1 so well. The palace, the Gungans and the droids, the Jedi duel, or the duel of the fates. It needs to be. I know it's going to be super hard to do, and no one's going to want to do it, and it's probably way too expensive to get the license and to get it from Avalon Hill if they still own it. I don't know how that all works, but this game needs a reprint. If there was a top 5 games list of needing reprints, this would be my number 1. This game is fantastic. Yeah, the Risk ones, it does the same kind of thing, but man, this game shines. I love it.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to play this game.
It's so great. I mean, the whole balance of everything. Because as much as you want to shit on the episode, when all of those things are happening, when the duel's happening, the Gungans are fighting the droids, Anakin's up, in the ship doing his thing, and the palace. When all of that stuff's going on, and the story's just bouncing back and forth, it's really cool. And this game really it does a really good job of bringing that to the table.
I really like episode 1.
So do I.
Great.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it before, but man, if you get a chance, I know it's hard to find, and you might spend a little bit on it, but
who designed it? Do we know?
I'm sure.
Oh, Rob Davia.
Oh, there you go. Oh, so Restoration should get on that if they can. Jeez.
Yeah, they should.
Strange. So good.
But maybe they can't get the license or whatever. Even if they can't get the license, maybe they could do a different license, but keep the mechanisms.
Well, I think so. I've tossed this around my design brain for a little while, and I think if it were to get a reprint, it would be Infinity War. I mean, that whole battle that's going on there, you could port into this pretty easily.
I could see that.
Yep.
Cool. Number 29.
Yeah.
Very good.
That'd be me.
Oh.
Where am I at? Oh.
I think Unmatched is a reskin of it.
Unmatched is not that one. Unmatched is, the Epic Duels became Unmatched, right, Corey?
Oh, yeah. Epic Duels is great. My brother still has that game. We like that game.
Yeah, Unmatched is a reskin. I don't know if it's a reskin. I think they changed it from what Unmatched was. I don't know. It's kind of like Fireball Island, the original, and the new Fireball Island. It's not the same, but it's still
Right.
Fireball Island.
There's some differences, yeah.
Sure.
So sorry, Katya.
Number 29. I'm at Dwellings of Eldervale.
Wow, nice. Where's Peter?
I don't know. I
All right,
think
fine.
he's
We had
watching.
another crossover.
Is that
We have another crossover?
Yeah,
Son
it's
of
on
a...
my list.
Damn.
interesting? It's a restoration. Well done, Andrew.
Ah, I love that cover so much. Somebody had suggested top 5 box covers that we need to do at some point. This would be on mine.
Yep.
And not the alternate one that was in the no, this is the one.
This is a weird fake image because the box is not this thin.
No, it is not. That was before it. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's
There's Luke,
wait.
the designer.
Nice.
It's
That's
so
about how
gorgeous.
big the box is. Okay.
That's accurate.
Those are cool. Yeah.
Oh, there's Peter.
Yep. That was at Origins, I bet you. When I demoed it. Yeah, for those that haven't played the game, you're laying some tiles and then you have your little meeples that you're placing on the board to take actions. And you can run into these creatures to fight them. But basically the goal of the game is you're trying to place dwellings on your meeples, so you're claiming territory permanently. And then you go up these tracks on that. Again, I'm pointing at my screen. People know what I'm pointing at. The colorful sort of hi Matt.
Hey,
The
Matt.
colorful chart there that has tracks. So you go up those, and it will give you points at the end of the game. And then the other thing too that I really like in the game is basically when you have used all of the meeples that you had available, because you can't use them all at once, like you'll gain more throughout the game. But when you've used them and then you've run out, you retrieve them back. And when you retrieve them, you have places to put them on cards that you've accumulated, or like your board that you start with, I believe. So you retrieve them and then all of a sudden you get like actions to take when you do that. So you don't feel like it's just a wasted turn. And then, yeah, there's cards you purchase. You continue to lay tiles down throughout the game as well. And then, yeah, you fight some monsters and you can get into fight with your neighbors as well. So it's all a lot of good stuff. I just really like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All
well
right.
done. The only thing is the person that wants to speed up the game, that goes off the tile, comes back to the tile to spawn a thing, goes off the tile, goes back to the tile. It's like, dude, why are you even playing the game?
Yeah, but you can't do that every turn. Like you have to bring your people back. Like you have to continue to use your people and then bring them back, and then, like that would still take a while to achieve.
You also have to be able to buy at least one of those cards. Like you can't just go there only for the hex. So
Right.
it does reduce that some. I also like it playing with the Oracle, the extra tile that you can get. That gives you another way to get one of those cards without pushing the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because the cards are important. Like they definitely give you some good stuff. And then the other thing too is when you lose a battle in the game, you end up getting a bonus. You go in like the underground or whatever. So your fighters that you've lost go in the underground, but then you get a bonus for having lost that. I think it's like a sword or something. And then when you retrieve them from there, you don't get those actions, I believe. So that's
These are all prototype images. We need to flood the BGG with new images.
Yeah, because those dwellings
don't
look like that. Do I have it open?
Yeah,
No,
they have
I
plastic.
box.
They have plastic buildings that go on top of the minis here.
Yeah, the little roofs, they're so cute. They fit they fit so well. Yeah, that must have been at Origins because I recognize some faces.
Yeah.
Bree was working there.
Yep.
Demoing. It was a fun time.
Good pick. Stole
Thanks.
one of mine. Stole one of mine.
Oh man. So now you have to sub in
Yeah. And here's my sub for number 28.
28.
Yeah. Just Cyclades.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Or Cyclades or
Cyclades.
Cyclades, whatever you want to call it.
Those damn Greek games.
Yeah. So yeah, my favorite part about this is these gods. It's kind of area control, right? You've got this island, and you've got your little people and stuff going on, but you can only do one action per round, and you have to bid for it. And if you pick the Ares one, that allows you to attack. If you pick the Poseidon one, you can attack with boats. If you pick the there's other ways of winning besides just fighting. You can kind of sit back and turtle and like try to get all these temples and stuff to get your metropolis up and going. And if you do that and people start realizing what you're doing, then they all turn around and start coming for you. It's a great balancing act. Right near the end of the game, it's always like, if I just get this right and they don't see it coming, and then other people, oh no, they see it coming. And there's like this knocking people off the hill kind of feel at the end of it. I've always liked this game. This is the first game I was like, who did this game? And it was the first time I thought, I'm going to look up the designer and see what else they did, and that's obviously one of my favorite designers, Bruno Catala,
Yes.
Catala or Catala? I
think it's Catala.
Actually interviewed him once, and I still don't know how to say his name.
You did? Oh my god, I'm so jealous.
When I was writing for the League of Game Makers.
You'll see him in April. Don't worry.
Hopefully.
So
yeah.
Chris, what do you think about the expansions with that game? Do you think that I'll ask the same thing that I asked Katia earlier? Do you think it's worth the expansions, or do you think the base game holds up just by itself?
So I only have the Hades expansion, which doesn't feel needed. It's cool. It's a neat little thing if you're tired with the game. I heard the Titans expansion is awesome, but I can't get it. I can't find it anywhere. So
should have come to QSCon.
Yeah, maybe it's at BGG. Second place to QSCon, I know.
I mean,
but yeah, great game. And I've also never played Kemet, so I know a lot of people say it Kemet's close to this or adjacent to it, and some people prefer it more than that. So I don't have that that connection.
I also haven't played Kemet, so I don't know, but I know I enjoyed this one.
Kemet's
only play a game, but
I haven't played the new Kemet. I don't know what they changed, but the original Kemet is fantastic.
Yep. So that's mine.
All right.
27.
Yeah, now we're on 27 with Michael.
So, again, drop a 42 in the comments. Hey, Holly. Drop 42 in the comments for the prize that we're giving away in a little while. Some of you have, some of you are just joining in. So if you just drop a 42 over there, there for me, I don't know where it is for you guys. So yeah, my next one is again, these are alphabetical. I'm going from bottom up. Just happens to be another one that's hard to find. But it's called Spellbound. It's by the Lamont Brothers. When Chris is done blowing his horn.
Holly said that she was late to the party. I wanted to welcome her to the party.
There you go, Matt.
All right, Spellbound.
Spellbound.
Is this also out of print?
If you were listening, yes.
I wasn't.
It's harder to find. The Lamont Brothers make games that are very limited. This is one of them. If you can look at some of the pieces, first of all, they're fantastic, and I haven't seen anything from them in quite a while, and I don't know if they're still even designing, but their designs are so much fun. The art's great, the pieces are great. Holly, you're in. Thank you.
Fancy 42.
But if you can get a picture of the mini, those things are handmade. They're just phenomenal.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
Yeah, they're great. So all of them, I mean, they're different colors. There's a troll that's walking around. Those books are clay, handmade.
Did they
Everything
come painted?
everything that they do in their games, just overarchingly, is amazing. And this game just pops.
Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous.
It's a fun push and pull to get things done before the end of the game. They do come painted.
Wow.
What you're looking at there is out of the box. It's phenomenal. Everything they do. If you look up, I forget the gnome game, but the Lamont brothers did a gnome game. If you type in gnome, you might see it. But they actually made the mushroom house thing for the game hangable. Like they made a notch in the back that you could hang it on your wall.
Which gnome?
I don't know.
Van Van Dorn?
No, not that one.
A game of gnomes?
No, but if you go back on the homepage of this
In
game,
Lamont Brothers, you might
yeah,
find it.
then you go by the designer and then
And look at what else they've done. Yeah, Mush Mush is great, or Mush Mush, whatever. Spellbound is still my favorite from them.
Game
the
of
game of gnomes.
That's it. Yep. So if
Oh
you look
my
at
God,
the
that's so cute.
main piece of that, not that, that actually can hang up on your wall. Like the back of it has a notch that you can hang it on your wall, and then you can put all the pieces on it. Their stuff is phenomenal. I mean,
Wow.
when I first got into the board game and I was like staying up at 4 a.m. to watch Essen and all that stuff, the Lamont brothers, I just gravitated towards. They were just fun. They'd always dress up for whatever theme they were doing. And their attention to detail, they're just, but they're limited games. Like they're very limited run of what they do. They'll sell out like in an hour, and then they just spend the rest of the time just goofing off and having fun. But their designs are super fun. There's a dragon game they make too that's really fun. You drop it in the center. It's kind of like the Spill by Smirk and Dagenau, but you drop the stuff in the center, and they'll come out in different ways, and you're a dragon trying to eating sheep and doing whatever. But this game has always been my favorite. The whimsical nature of the pieces that are in it. The way that it's kind of like a race against the clock, because you don't want certain things to happen. You want to accomplish certain things along the way, and it's just really, really, it's a fun game.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
Very good. I would probably put this in my top 10.
You don't get to sort things now.
Just saying. If I had to, this would probably be in my top 10.
You did have to.
No. I didn't have to. I don't listen to you.
That's true.
Right.
We all know that.
But if I had to, this would definitely, for the way that the pieces are together, the gameplay, just everything about this game is just super fun. Unfortunately, it's hard to find.
Of course.
That's it. I'm good for a while.
He likes to torture us because now, obviously, I wrote it down, and then everybody watching is probably Googling. So there's going to be 0 copy left, even if there was one for sale.
I mean,
the true story is he's got all these games on eBay, and he's trying to get them sold off.
Damn right. No, I don't sell anything. I'd probably have 5 copies of this in the back, and I'm not even going to.
Of course.
Yep. Yeah, the game's fantastic. Look it up. The pieces are great. Just make sure you get pictures of the minis, and if you are buying it secondhand, that nothing's broken off, and they're going to ship it properly, because they are fragile, because they're handmade. So,
wow,
that's insane. Yeah, I'm super jealous. Thank you for showing something like that. I'm like drooling over here.
Absolutely.
Jeez.
Cocktail?
Well, nothing will come close to that now.
27.
What did I have after that? Oh, I had Alchemists.
Oh.
Do I have it here somewhere?
That's a good one.
You'll have to show the art. The board is just gorgeous. But yeah, it's a fun, puzzly Sudoku type game where you're trying to go with a process of elimination to figure out what the recipes are. And yeah, I love the artwork so much. And those little potion bottles are super fun. But yeah, basically you're placing your potion depending on how you want to go in order of player, and then you're like placing your cubes on the board to determine what action you're going to do. And yeah, you're basically mixing experiments, like mixing potions, like mixing ingredients and stuff like that, and testing them out on your students. And you can test them on yourself and poison yourself. And yeah, it uses an app. So basically, you're like entering you're scanning your 2 cards that you have to see what they make, and then you're taking notes on your pad that's hidden. And yeah, that's basically your yeah, I know, right? I love CGE stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically as the game goes, you're trying to publish theories that could be complete bogus or they could be true, and then people can debunk them if they figured out that you published something that was false, and you're earning points that way. It's a fantastic game. I love it.
My theories will always be bogus.
Great, good to know.
Mine usually have at least one thing. Yeah, there's usually something in there that's not real. It's just fun. It's like, yeah.
It was a good game.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, people can't just go and debunk it on a whim. Like they have to, I believe,
You have to have
debunk
something.
it with something. They have to know what goes in there or something like that. So, but yes, it's just really, really good, and the table presence of that game is amazing.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Great pick.
Yeah, it's a good one.
My number 27?
25.
25. Way off.
What? 25.
Is Istanbul.
Oh, get out. We have a crossover.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was
3
my number
crossovers.
4.
Nobody's
three.
crossing over with Mike.
We're at 3 now, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not true. We had 5 tribes. I've got 1 so far.
Yeah,
That-
but
that
I
didn't
mean,
count.
Chris and I have 3.
That's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so now I need to replace that with something else.
You've
Yes,
already
then-
proven Chris wrong, so I'm happy.
Istanbul's been out for a while. For a long while. I still think it's available though. There is a dice game too, which is fun. Not as good as the original. I play this on mobile quite a bit now, actually. Haven't played it as a board game in a while. But you're taking your pieces and wow, that's zoomed in and blurry. Trying to find that's a good one. Taking your pieces, like you take this whole stack here of people and you'll move up to 2 spaces, so you can go here or here or here, but you can't go here. And you're leaving your little assistants behind. You eventually run out and you have to go back or collect them up in one spot at the fountain. It just kind of hinders your movement in a really creative way I haven't seen done since.
Mhm.
And you're trying to get gems. You're trying to collect gems. I think in 2-player it's 6 gems, and in 3 to 5 player, I think it's a 5-player game. You're collecting 5 gems, or maybe I got that reversed. But yeah, you're doing different things to collect gems. You know, getting abilities or turning in gems or turning in not gems, turning in resources or money. There's different ways of doing it. So because of the random layout, you never know exactly what to do whenever you start off.
And I always play with the Mocha expansion.
See, I have the Mocha expansion and I never learned it.
Okay, so it adds like coffee, basically like a bag of coffee beans as a resource, and that resource allows you to go and get certain cards that will give you actions. It also you know how there's those bonus tiles that you can get that will allow you to have like an additional worker or like those type of tiles. Yeah. So there's one that will allow you, I think, to move like all the way across, or like, so instead of moving based on your, like how far you can go, is basically like it
like a rook
all the way across. So it increases your movement quite a bit. Oh, but the thing though is that one of the tiles that it comes with, if the person goes there and exchanges some resources, they can get this like stick and create a barrier somewhere in the board. So they will place that barricade, and now when you're trying to get to this tile, you'll have to like go around it because there's one barrier. So anyways, it adds enough that yeah, when we play it now, it's
I have tried the dice version. I have it, in fact, and we played it a lot too. I just don't feel as much control in that
oh, okay.
game because you basically have to do whatever the dice pop up. And with the original Istanbul, you can plan out. I can go this turn, I'll go here, which means next turn I can reach here and turn
Mhm.
after. And with the dice game, you can only go turn by turn because you never know what you're going to roll. But I still like it, but it's not on this list. Didn't
Yeah,
beat
I
this.
really love this game. Yeah.
Yep.
Great pick.
All right. That brings us to number 24.
Nice.
Yes, 24.
Yeah, I got the nice little list going now, so we'll be able to figure
Okay.
when Chris is wrong.
What you got, Mike? Oh, that's
I got-
what makes you take notes, is if you can prove if I'm wrong.
Of course. This one's easy to find. Quickly got to the top of my list of games that I bring constantly to game nights. Silver and Gold.
That's a great one.
Easy to find if you spell correctly, right?
It's helpful, yes. Yeah, this game I was introduced to it in 2019. Somebody had the German edition, which I still have there. It's you're up and playing it within a minute. It's not difficult at all. Yeah, it's just fantastic. It's a flip and right. You're flipping polyominoes. There are 8 different. You play 7 every round, so 1 is left out. Some have duplicates, but you're tasked to place those polyominoes into your treasure maps. Filling the treasure map scores it, so you get the score that's in the upper left. If you do the coins, you're trying to get the coins filled before anybody else. If you do the palm trees, you're scoring palm trees based on what's in the center market. The X's are free spots on other maps or the same map. There's bonuses if you can combo some of the bonuses into cards that you're trying to go down the orange route or the purple route. It's just a fun game. It's super compact, easy to learn, easy to get people playing. And the cards are dry erase. I mean, the game's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Agreed.
No crossover there?
No, I knew
that's
that was going to
surprising.
be on the list, so I didn't put it.
Yeah,
Avoiding crossover. Okay, so that makes
23
number
to me.
23.
Yep.
So now I inserted something, obviously, to make up for Istanbul. Super Motherload.
Oh wow.
I love that game.
Huh. I'm curious why you love it so much.
Because it's polyominoes also.
I
No, but
haven't, and I've been introduced to it. Like, you should play this, but I've never gotten it to. I don't know anything about it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so those are the tiles that are on the board. Basically, it's what you're mining down to. So as the game progresses, you're mining down, and on the board there's different gems and stuff like that that you're uncovering. In that game, you start with a hand of whatever your crew, whatever you call them, and it's a bit of a deck builder. So you have piles of people that eventually you're going to add to your deck, and the people in your crew allow you to drill down or lay bombs and stuff like that to explode and excavate as you work your way down on the board. So when you acquire one of these new cards, typically it will allow you to do an action right away. So that's another kind of like linking bonus that you can have. But yeah, basically you're laying tiles down depending on how big of an excavation area you ended up exploring, and then you collect all of the gems that you covered with those tiles. Yeah, like those black tiles are basically what I said polyomino, but it's really not polyomino now that I look at it. It's just straight pieces. But regardless, anyways, you're basically covering those, grabbing the resources, and then yeah, like the bigger gems are worth more and stuff like that. So you're trying to also discover artifact, and the artifacts will either give you abilities or give you points towards the end or something like that. But the crew that you're accumulating throughout the game, those cards are also worth points. So you want to make sure that you get like the best one, the higher value ones in your hand. But yeah, it's also like trying to manage, like plan basically where you're excavating and not leaving the good stuff behind that your opponent might go and, discover. So it's a simple game, but I really, really enjoy it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Number 22. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're at 22 with Chris.
Is Teotihuacan,
Wow.
City of Gods.
I would never have guessed that this would be on your list.
Is
You
that
being
because
sarcastic?
it's in there a few times? Yeah. Well, what's really weird is it's a game that makes you feed your people, and as you know, I rant against such a mechanism. But it's so good that
It is
Yeah.
good.
it's so good that I can look past it.
It's
Even
amazing.
though that's a really real part of the game. Like you feel the hurt if you don't
Yeah.
feed
Mhm.
people. It would
Yeah,
be
it's
better if you
quality.
didn't have to.
It's a quality
that?
game.
Yeah,
It's a quality game. It's well done. I mean,
it is.
the turn order system, like the way that the game plays, not only the manufacturing of the game, the way the game plays just feels good.
Yeah, and this it's like a rondel, right? The way you have to move around the whole board and stuff, and I really like rondel games. So
Yeah, it's a really good one.
all right, next 21.
21 with Michael.
What was that? I forgot to spell Teotihuacan.
We might have some new people on.
Not spelling it. Oh, should I remind people to drop a 42 in the comments to enter the prize giveaway thing? Yeah. Anyone new that hasn't done it yet, drop a 42, whether you want to spell it out or just drop the 4 and the 2 in the comments. We'll enter you into a giveaway, a little prize that we're giving away for our 42nd episode of the full 42. I want to see if anybody else has entered the. Oh, we do have a new entry in the poll.
Nice. On the
yeah.
Facebook poll.
I'm not surprised, but that new entry is also their favorite full 42 moment so far is 21 votes to Katya being announced as the full-time or permanent new host. I thought the guitar intro would have gotten a couple more, which apparently,
Right?
And then Chris's camera and light malfunction was pretty epic. Yeah, only got 2 votes on that one, but overwhelmingly, and no one voted for the dancing raptor with the bulbous tail. I mean,
They must have missed the episode because that was hilarious.
That broke me. Like, that was beat red crying, like, broke me. But yeah, no votes. 21 people. Favorite moment so far has been you joining the full 42. So thank you for making us better.
Yes.
Stop talking about it because the tears are going to come. And so it's just...
All right. So number 21.
Number 21, Unreachable Game.
The next one on my list, moving
Wait,
up.
we're down? Yeah, 21. Yeah. Sorry.
Yep, 21. From bottom to top. Again, not in order, just reverse alphabetical. Is Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yay! I didn't put it on, but I was hoping you would because I love the game.
I thought you'd have it on there. Yeah, I haven't played the new one. I don't think I would like the new one because this game has one of the best components in board games, in my opinion. There's 2 games, Magic Maze with that red giant meeple. For those that know Magic Maze, you can't talk unless you get into that one little location that lets you talk. But the only way you can communicate with people is you take this red meeple and you slam it in front of somebody, letting them know that there's something that they need to be doing. Technically, you're not supposed to even make noise with it, but most people go that route and start just tapping it in front of them, and it gets so frustrating. It does its job really well. The best component in board games, in my opinion, is that bag on the left. When you're playing this game and you're trying to bluff the sheriff and you're doing what you can overplay it, you can underplay it, but you're doing what you can to try and get your stuff through. And it either goes one of two ways. Either you're telling the truth and all you have are apples and you've just screwed over the sheriff, or you're trying to get that crossbow through with the mead and the sheriff knows you're bullshitting. And that snap of that bag in either direction is so empowering or heartbreaking, depending on what you're trying to do. And that little freaking bag with that little friggin' snap makes it so amazing. And I know the new edition took it out because the bags would break, the snaps would rip. And now the rule is if the bag is touched, it's considered opened. It doesn't have the same power that little sound makes when you're like, God damn it, he's going to open it. And that thing happens and you know you're screwed, or you know you've got the sheriff because other people start chiming in and trying to get you in trouble. Man, that piece the game's fun, but that element of trying to get it through and having that thing happen to you or having it happen to the sheriff is just absolutely amazing.
I can't even imagine not being able to touch the bag, and then as soon as you touch it, it's like it's confirmed you're opening it, because we'd grab the bag and then you're kind of like, well, how much is it worth to you for me not to look in here? And you're like holding it and you're kind of like, I don't know. And so like to not even be able to do that, I don't know.
No, you kind of start doing that. Oh, I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna touch it, but it doesn't have.
It's not the same.
No, like when you're like, oh, I'm gonna do it. You're like, fuck, whatever. But man, when you get into it and you're like trying to tease that person, and someone's trying to throw in $5 to not do it, and someone else is like, no, $10, do it, and that snap happens. It's so amazing on either. There's no middle ground unless you're not involved. But either you're doing the right thing or you're screwed, and that snap happens, and man, it's so epic.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Oh, it's fantastic.
We never snapped the bags.
And the game itself is fun. Like to play around, everybody's the sheriff. You're all trying to bluff to get stuff into King John's party, and everyone has the best apples or everyone has the best bread. And how many bread did you say? The game shines with the right players at the table, like most games do. This one is even better with the right people. But man, that snap. I understand it must have been a nightmare to consistently replace the bags because they would rip. But that element it changes the game. It's so cool.
What's funny is I have such a terrible memory that when I play this game, so when you submit your bag, you say, I have 3 breads in here. And then by the time everybody's submitted their stuff, and then the sheriff looks at you and it's like, what did you say you had in here? And I'm always like, what did I say I had in there?
Yep.
I don't remember. So there's also that aspect of like, well, I guess now I may as well just bullshit because I don't remember what's in here. But yeah, it's fun.
The only real negative in the game, and it's not perfect because it does play better with the right people that can really table talk and have fun with it, is that you can just tell the truth the entire game and you still have a great shot at winning. You might win more often depending on how the sheriff is winning. You can consistently you can tell the truth the entire game and you've got a good shot.
Here's my issue with it is that the times I've played it, first of all, we never snapped the bags. But we do the touch thing. And I have the old version. But every time I play it, when it becomes my turn to play the sheriff, no one does anything bluffing. So I don't ever get the chance to like, everybody's like, yeah, I don't care. I don't bluff when you're the sheriff.
Why?
Because I catch them every time. So people have just gone, okay, screw it. I'm not going to mess with them, which makes it the most boring game for me if there isn't that tension whenever I get to play the sheriff. And I also don't get bribery money. I don't get anything. So it's almost like I'm getting the worst version of that feel. So I'd like to play with like strangers or, because like the first game I ever played was great. But then because I called everybody on their BS every time, they just stopped doing it. So
and it plays better with people that want to have fun with it.
Me. If we
It's-
ever get to play games together.
Yes, that'd be great.
Yeah.
It's so great.
I would
I'm
play this
sure
every day.
the second edition is fine. I don't know if they updated the art. I don't know what they changed. The only thing I know about it is that they took the snaps out and changed the rule to it being a touch rather than the snap. And that's just, for me, it's just a turn off.
I mean, if you have the flap, it could be that as soon as the flap is up, then you're going. And it's still kind of, you could still kind of play with it, and I don't know. But I hope they kept the art because I really like it. So
Yeah, the art's great.
yeah.
Okay, so number 20 something.
20, and it's up to me now.
Yep.
All right. This is an underrated game, in my opinion. It's called Voluspa.
Oh, wow. Small
I
game.
love that game.
Oh. How do you spell it though?
Voluspa. Voluspa.
And Andrew,
this game.
absolutely agreeing with your comment.
I have this game. I've had this for a while.
Scott Caputo.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a really simple tile laying game, but very strategic because you're trying to, like, each tile has their own ability and scoring, and you're basically laying tiles and trying to score the row. And it can go, I think, up to 7 or 8 in length. And then once you've reached that length for a certain row, you can no longer add to it. But there are tiles that will allow you to sub things in or to pile it on. Or I freaking love this game. It's super simple, but it's puzzly. Like, the more the game develops, there's more opportunities and places to to go and really maximize your turn. The tile that is the tricky one is the low key, where it basically makes everything around it a 0. So if you have something that you think will score you a lot, but then somebody goes and places a low key, then that became a 0. So now you're having to either go and cover him up, swap him out, or you just have to kind of redirect to somewhere else on the display. So I don't know. It's just it's a like simple and elegant type of game where it's like it doesn't need a whole lot of fluff, but I really enjoy it.
Yep. Great game.
It's got a couple expansions too, right? One or two?
Yeah, I have a couple, or one, but I think it came with 2 in it. I don't know. It's definitely got stuff in there.
So where we are now?
We're at 19
19
for Chris.
is Dune Imperium.
Wow. Okay. Already. Huh?
Fairly new one,
Mhm.
obviously, but I've played it more times than a lot of my older ones. I played it at least 5 times this year that it came out. Well, it came out, I think, late last year, right? But I didn't get it till this year. So. Yeah, the tension in this game, I haven't played it since I've seen the movie, actually. So, but the tension in this game of, like every single move feels like it matters. And it's the old first person to 10 points wins kind of thing. So it feels like a race. I got to get this point this way. There's different ways of getting points. You can get it in combat here, or you can. The good thing is, like, early on, you can kind of ignore combat. You get some cool stuff, but not usually points. And then later on, it's all about the combat. And by then, hopefully, you've got some cool intrigue cards and stuff like that. I try to stay away from the intrigue cards because that's the one criticism I hear about the game, is that the intrigue cards can be like almost nothing, worthless, to it's a point, which is like 1/10 of the game, right?
Yeah, they're swingy, and there's
real swingy.
There's something else too. I think it's if you get 4 or 5 of them, then somebody can like steal.
Yeah, so yeah, it's one of these spots here. If somebody has a lot of them, they can get stolen from. And I think that's because of this character, the Baron Harkonnen. He gets them a lot easier than other people. And so if you're playing against him, that's a good spot to go to. But yeah. I've never played the Baron. I've been played against the Baron quite a bit, so I don't normally get those entry cards because of how swingy they are. I just don't want my game to depend on that random draw, right?
Yeah.
But it's a deck builder. Really great game. Deck builder, worker placement. Good combo.
I
That's a
won
good
that game on the last turn. The game was over, and I had one of those cards that gave me 2 points. And
Yeah.
I won.
I wish I could. Well, I guess I could, but I wish they would give some kind of like, all right, here's a deck that you could replace it with that isn't so swingy. That's my only complaint.
Chris, just house rule it. You'll be okay.
See, I knew you'd say house rules. No house rules.
If you remove a card from a deck, that's a house rule.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
That's one thing. I wish they would come out with a deck that is approved, designer approved, to be less swingy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like it. I know it got one of our other videos was you reviewing this with Arnak. I had not played either of them at that time, so I was asking a lot of questions of the games, but I've played both of them since, and I know they get compared, and I see the comparison. I don't know much about the IP of Dune, and I think I prefer Dune to Arnak.
Yeah, I mean, they both have similar mechanisms, but completely different feels,
Sure.
Mhm.
which is
Well, one's got
really
the monsters
interesting.
that you fight, and one doesn't.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Um,
We're on to
cool.
18 with Michael.
So yeah, my next one on my list of bottom to top alphabetical. Again, if anyone's new watching the show, I know it's starting to get repetitive, but drop a 42 in there and in the comments, and you might win something. So the next one in my reverse alphabetical order list of my not top 42 is Seasons,
Oh,
because the game's great.
It's a good one.
I've played this game numerous times and have yet to include the expansions. There's 2 expansions. I know they add more stuff to it, but I of all the times I've played it, I'm usually playing it with someone new who hasn't played it yet. And I still think it holds up as just a straight up base game without needing the expansions, at least for me yet, to make it feel fresh and new. Big chunky dice. No, you don't get multiple entries, Corey. 1 entry per person. Big chunky dice. Really cool art. The card play is entertaining and interesting. The way things work, the combos you can make. The base game alone has like a beginner, an intermediate, and a hard or experience. I don't know what they call it. But the cards are numbered, and you can include or remove certain cards to make the deck for more experienced players or beginner players. They have a suggested route that you can use. The game's super fun.
yep. I haven't played it in years, but it's been we played it a lot whenever I first had it.
What are those dice? Ick. Don't
What,
use
those
that
dice?
as a reference picture. Those dice are not accurate.
Oh yeah, those aren't the real dice, are they?
Ugh.
Oh, I love the artwork. in it.
Art's fantastic. It's beautiful. Every
One of my
one of
favorite
those
art
pictures is a story. It's amazing.
There's
There
the
we
dice.
go. That's
There you go. Big chunky dice. The decision to pull a point if it's got a star on it, or to pull 2 elements because you need the elements because your cards are working with the elements and you can transmute the stuff into more points. I mean, the game, I wish there was like an animated series of the art in that game, because there's so
Yes.
many of those things where you want to see these characters like come to life and be awesome, because like I forget the dragon's name, Amud or something. I want him to like talk and tell stories. It's just amazing. Michael,
Yeah.
you're in.
Awesome. Great pick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
No crossover, but great pick.
great game.
I know
And why
Jim
was
was
it
on our
blue, red,
Discord.
yellow?
Really likes the game.
You're missing an entire season there in those dice. Why wouldn't they just include the green?
Oh yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
weird.
Wild. Oh, Andrew, gotcha.
All right, we're on to 17 with my next pick.
Correct.
My next one is Codenames Pictures.
Nice.
Again, a game I will never say no to playing. It's so fun. And when you're with the right group of people, man, we've played this game with, I think we had 12. And I think for one round, we had 14 people. So we had like 2 teams of 6 that were, it was like a friend's Thanksgiving, and we're basically like somebody's cooking, and the rest of us decided to play this. So we had like 2 huge teams, and yeah, just the mayhem of trying to debate after after you find out how many numbers. So okay, so for those who haven't played it, I guess I'll start there. You're trying to make your team flip the cards that belong to your team, your color. So there's red and blue, and basically the 2 people giving the clues have a window that shows them where the blue ones are, where the red ones are, and there's a black that if you're a spy, that basically if that gets turned over, then that team loses automatically. So basically, if I'm on the red team and I'm looking at those images and I'm trying to give a word that links those images, and then I give a number that corresponds to how many of those tiles I'm trying to get my team to flip over, because I want them to only discover the red ones. So basically, if I go with like, I don't know, snake for 2, then my team will go and try and find pictures that have something related to snakes, and they'll know to aim for 2. And then the fun part of the game is the debate between your team to try and make their point, where it's like, well, I think this has to do with a snake because, and so there's like always this back and forth, and sometimes when your team is losing, then the person who's giving the clue is getting desperate. So then you'll go like, I don't know, I'm gonna go with cube for 4. And then you're looking on the board and there might be 6 things that have cubes in them, but you're really hoping that your team is going to pick the right stuff. Sometimes with like, if you can remember the previous clues, that will help you determine, okay, so, well, earlier we were told this, so this could work together. So it's just like, it's a really fun, like the interaction within the teams is really fun. And then you always have the other team trying to mess with you, and they're like, no, but this is a cube too, like this could be yours. And so it's so fun.
All right, let's see how good you do. Here's my clue.
Oh, did you actually pick something?
Yeah, off of this. Scales 4.
Scales?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to like see the top ones there. They're kind of hard to see. Scales. Okay. I'm going to go scales. Okay. So I'm going to go with definitely the snake charmer dude.
Yep, that's 1.
I'm thinking that seahorse.
2.
Seahorse has scales? Oh, I guess it would. Okay.
Scales. Oh man.
Scales.
I mean, toads don't have scales. And I think the thing at the top is a pair of wings that's hanging on a coat rack or something. So I don't
That's what
think
it looks like to me.
Yeah, that wouldn't be scales.
What about the dynamite cake that scales up?
Maybe. Ooh, the cat and the lion. The cat with the shadow. Because the scale is like really different. See, that's where my brain goes. And then I'm thinking I'm wrong on that. But that would be my third guess. Yeah. That's what I would have went. And I was like pretty confident with that one.
What would be your third guess, Mike?
I probably would have went with the wings in the upper left.
No, that's that.
All right. So what were the 2 we were missing?
I did do toad, even though they don't have scales. It's kind of reptile adjacent.
Yeah.
And the bison with the horns, because it looks like balance scales.
Okay. Yeah. I can see.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Don't play with me.
Nope.
But that is why I love the game, though.
Good
Yeah.
game.
Pretty fun.
I like the picture one more than I do the words.
Same.
But
That's the one we have. Yeah.
my group doesn't like the pictures as much for whatever reason. They think it's harder. So
Oh, I see. I think the word's harder because you get so hung up on the literal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I find the art is so original and fun. I don't know. To me, that's like hands down. That's the one I would.
I think there's more to mess with the pictures. You know,
Mhm.
like I was doing the scales. If that just said bison, yeah, might
Right.
even try that.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Okay, that was your number.
That was number 17.
Number 17. So it's to
Andrew,
me.
Andrew has a good comment there.
Oh,
I can't see it because I have my max
yeah. I
window.
popped that up already. Yeah, we do need to.
Yes.
Can
I'd
we
love
play
to
that
already.
on camera?
Oh, we probably
I don't see
could.
why you couldn't if one of us has it.
Okay.
Oh,
set-
yeah, we might have to organize that.
yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So my number was a 17, 16,
Now we're on to 16.
16
Yeah.
would be, we already talked about it, Arnak.
Arnak.
I like it just a little bit more than Dune. And it is just a little bit more. It's like just a sliver. And it really comes down to theme. I love Dune. I love the old movie, read the book, love the new movie, all that. But the tension in Dune is so tight that I actually feel like a bit of the tension. And sometimes I just want to relax a little bit more. And Arnak gives me that. And I feel a little more adventure in it. You know, oh, see what this monster is in this temple kind of thing. I almost wish that they had the feeling of adventure even more in this game. If they came out with an well, I know they're coming out with an expansion. I don't know what it's going to entail, but I hope it adds more to the theme because the theme is so thick and lovely with the artwork and everything. But it's also like doing a worker placement deck builder, but it feels so completely different, right? I don't know why we got print images here. Yeah, so build your deck, and the deck tells you where you could put your worker, just like in Dune. But it just has such a different feel. So
there's just very little player interaction in this one. I think that's what kind of gives Dune the edge for me. I love the Indiana Jones nature of this. Like, I definitely would gravitate towards this as a theme more than Dune because I'm not married to the IP of Dune, and I'd much rather play in this world. But I think there's just a little bit more of player interaction. Although you can block people off in Arnak and stop them from whatever, there's just no, I don't know, there's just no interaction in this one.
Nice.
And I love
Arnak.
But
Yeah, I agree completely with that, and that's why Arnak beats it, is because the interaction with players creates that level of tension that I love in Dune, but also sometimes it's too much like it's the whole game from start to finish has that tension. It's not like in a lot of games where you play out near the end, you start getting tension. It's like immediately in Dune. First placement is like, oh, I gotta go there. I don't, every placement matters, like I said. And this one, you don't have that. You go, oh, okay, they went there. Well, I guess I'll go over here, and you can pivot a lot easier. So,
well, depending on what you have, right? You can get choked out of certain resources pretty easily in Arnak.
Oh yeah, the resources are tight.
Same as Dune.
Yep. Yeah. But I still feel like you can pivot easier in this game. If somebody goes where you went, all right, fine, I'll go to the whatever they call it, the research track, I think it is, or something like that. So, but like I said, it is just barely above Dune, so I could totally see someone else going the other direction with it.
I really love the resources in that one.
It's
really
I know.
cute. Ooh, the little compass. Somebody's got a little fancy compass.
Yeah, they've added these.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they've painted some of these.
I don't like that.
That red. Yeah, I don't like the red.
No.
The wash isn't bad.
The wash is fine. Yeah, I've seen some people
like the
do the
red.
dark wash, but the red I'm not.
And it does come with these gems and these arrowheads. Oh, look, they painted little swords and stuff on the people. You can see that.
Oh, nice.
That's funny. Yeah. But anyway, yep, Arnak.
Cool.
Another
Good pick.
recent one.
For sure.
Number,
Hey, Peter,
sorry, that was 16.
you just got
Peter.
entered.
And then, hey, Peter, you missed that. I put dwellings on my list.
Yep, Dwellings was
Showed
already
up
on the list.
just a little too late. But stick around anyways.
It's on 2
We're
of our
on
lists.
to 15 with Michael.
Yeah. So again, bottom up, my next one on my list is Scythe.
Oh,
Oh,
Yep.
I mean, I like it.
it is
I
on
think-
my list of 40, but not close enough to be a crossover.
Yeah. I first two plays, I don't think I liked it at all. But it took a little bit of, I think I get it. And then we hopped into the campaign with Fenris. And
Oh, please don't say too much. I
Nope.
haven't started that. Okay.
I
love
haven't
it.
played Fenris either, so
I have
I
it,
love it.
but unopened.
super fun.
I expect Legos in there.
Basically very simple, right? You're doing a couple things on your turn, but the strategy and when to do them and how to do them and how to unlock them and going across the map and doing stuff. The game it's great. Plus the world. I mean, when you look at that box and you see that like old school farming with the mechs, like it just like what's going on in this story? I need to know
Mhm.
more.
I always love the cards that you get to pick what you do. Like I always read the whole thing.
Yep.
Yeah, they're fun.
Yeah. It's fun.
I think
It's
I
a-
mentioned once I got to dive in to the secret lore that has never actually been revealed as far as I know. So maybe it has been revealed in Fenris, but so I might have some spoilers in my head already. But because I was talking to Jamie about designing a game with this IP at one point, but it didn't quite work out. But so maybe it's in Fenris. I need to play Fenris.
It's fun. It's really fun. The narrative, the story, the way things are going. There were a lot of those moments where you're like, "Ooh, that's cool," and then it just, it's worth it. It's worth the go.
Cool.
I don't know how I would feel playing the game after Fenris. Like if you just go back to Scythe and play. I mean, I wouldn't turn it down if people were playing it for the first time and they were like, "Hey, you want to play?" I would enjoy playing it, but I don't know if it would have the same punch as it does playing through this story, right? This epic thing that's going on.
I can see
Mhm.
that.
Well, that's like comparing Pandemic with the Pandemic Legacy season 1. Like it's I don't know that I would enjoy regular Pandemic. I think I had only played it once before playing the Legacy one, and the Legacy is just so good.
Right.
Nice.
Cool.
There you go.
I play this on Steam all the time as well.
All right, we're at 14. Oh, it's to me actually.
Yep.
It is.
Pay attention. I talk about this game all the time. Cartographers.
Good one.
Yep.
Knew that would be there.
I like
It
how
has
you
to be.
it's cartographers talk about it all the time.
I mean, it's just so good.
With that red
love
quill in
this
his hand.
flip and right. Yeah, with the red quill, which was part of my trivia.
Yep.
Yeah, if people haven't played it, basically it's a flip and right. You're flipping cards with different terrain and you're drawing it on your map. And each round or like each season, you're scoring certain cards. You know, there's A, B, C, and D, and you're scoring either A and B, B or C. And so on those cards are, you know, ways to score points depending on what terrain you filled out and where. And so you're trying to also like follow restrictions that are on those cards. Like if you want to stop just for like, go back one sec, go back one pick. Okay, stop there. So underneath the A, B, C, and D are the restrictions basically that you're aiming to achieve, because that's what will score you points. And then on top of that, during the game, as you're flipping those terrain cards that you're trying to fill in your map, there are like goblins and things like that. So it's like these purple tiles that instead of adding them to your own setup, you're swapping sheet with your opponent or rotating depending on how many people are playing, and then it hinders them in the setup. So you're drawing those purple things and it becomes negative points for them until they've surrounded those tiles. Then it's no longer negative. But yeah, like it's really good. And I always enjoy playing it with colored crayons instead of just a little pencil because I like the color in it. So it's my jam. I love it.
Have you gotten the new one?
Yeah.
With the 20 different colored pencils and everything? Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't played it yet, but it's upstairs and I'm just waiting to combine both boxes because it fits into one. So yeah.
All right.
That was number 14.
So I'm lucky number 13.
Uh-huh.
And that would be Path of Light and Shadow.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that recently. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think either one of you have played this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's John Gilmore, yeah?
Travis Chance, John Gilmore, Nick Little, Beth Sobel art.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, amazing stuff. Oh man, yeah, I was about to say, get closer to those cards. Every card is just like this awesome artwork and stuff. But the reason why I have it so high is mostly because of the deck building nature. You can promote and cull your cards so much that you really get this good feeling of building the deck like you want. It has area control in it. Yeah, there you go. Perfect time.
Wow.
Area control in it, which I'm not crazy about as a mechanism myself. But it's not this constant at least the games I played, isn't this constant battle where it's just, oh, I got it, now someone took it. Now I got it, now I got it. You know, it can be taken from you, but it's kind of difficult for people to do so. Well, you can leave it open if you want and let people take it from you, but you know, the real fun of it, there's a good side and a dark side here. If you start culling your cards, you start going towards the evil side because you're, you know, killing off your own men. If you start promoting and getting new cards, you go towards the light. And both sides, both paths are good ways of winning. I found that if you just hover in the middle, you're not going to do as well. And some of these cards, like once you promote them, you can promote them several levels. Like a monk can become, you know, like a cathedral mason, and then this could become. So they go up and up. And I found like once you get certain cards, depending on how far you are in the light or in the dark, you can do better. So, yeah, it's just really fun. You also have these little things like whoever gets these two different kinds of lands first, you gain points, and so yeah, really fun. Great game.
Great art.
And I know there was an expansion with different art, and I was like, but whatever.
You backed it anyway, though, right?
I backed it anyway because I liked the game, but under protest, Beth Sobel should have done the artwork for the expansion. I don't care what it cost or what the issue was. Should have gotten Beth Sobel. But yeah, great game.
Yeah,
we're on to number 12 for Michael. Let's check out the.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
All cylinders with that game.
Mm-hmm.
Production quality is through the roof.
Yeah.
All right, so another reminder. I might as well do it because we're getting into almost our top 10. Which, even though I'm only on my 33rd game,
you're an overachiever.
Well, I mean, 42, right? We're doing our top 42, so I got 42. I have 43.
It would be like a 6-hour episode if we both had 42 games.
Yeah,
whatever. I'll still post them. They're still going to be there.
That's fine. Yeah, I can post my 40 that I had.
I didn't have 40, but sure, I'll share them.
So yeah, those that are watching that haven't yet, throw 42 in the comments. I haven't updated the Facebook thing. We are still at 21. Good. So, in addition to the Facebook poll that we had on our group, which if you're not a part of, get into, throw in a 42 in the comments, and we have something that we're going to give away. I think we should do it when we hit when we're done with Chris's top 10. We'll probably announce who that winner is, because we are on 2 hours and we still have 12 games to go. And then all the chatter that'll come with all the games that should have made it on there that I didn't get to do. Yeah, drop a 42 in the comments as I talk about my next game, Sagrada.
We have an overlap.
I mean, I love this game. So we have one. That's great. I loved this game before I was involved with Floodgate. The game's fantastic. Everything about the game, it's just super replayable, fun puzzle, easy to teach. Expansion wise, I would say you need to play it, or at least introduce people. Well, you can do a base game, which is fine. But the private player wheel is just amazing. It ramps the puzzle up so well. And then the other expansions, the Passion expansion is fine. The Life expansion is fine. I love the Apprentice die that Life brings, but the base game with the private player wheel is just such a fun puzzle to play. Not 42 minutes. I don't think we have an episode that'll ever be 42 minutes long.
No, it's always over an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, so Sagrada is up there for me.
Yeah. Same. It was actually no way. It was gonna be my next one.
There you go. Beat you to it.
Yep.
So now I gotta swap it. Hold on.
Yes, you do. Yeah, the game.
I mean, because
I mean, everything about Floodgate games are great, right? Whether it's Holy or Cosmic Colonies or Bosk, they're pretty and they're well done. And I know it might come across a little biased, but Sagrada was. When I saw that in prototype form, I knew that Daryl and Adrian had a tremendous hit on their hands. The game is just infinitely replayable with all the stuff that's out there, with the modules you can use or not use. It's just a fun game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a staple, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah. So now we have two that have overlapped. One more, and my guess is right.
I don't think I rant that much.
No. I mean,
Not
I've
too rant.
had one or two rants, and it usually involves point salad, but that's about it.
Maybe if you count what I talk about on the Discord, it might be 40.
Perhaps.
But on camera, probably not that much.
All right, so I replaced Sagrada for. Okay, so we're at 11.
Ooh, good number.
I've replaced Sagrada with In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Oh, good one.
Oh, nice.
Great game.
Got it behind me somewhere.
Yeah.
That one.
I love the cover. The art on those like those cards, I think they're like magic cards or whatever you call them. But yeah, it's a really fun that game. I can't even explain it well because it's been a while, but you're collecting resources and building tunnels to reach the middle because the middle scores more. And you're also building these statues along the way. And depending on how close to the center they are, they score more. So anyways, the way that you gather resources in that game, aside from like landing on certain spots on the board with your tunnels and then you collect them, is with these cards that you have that cascade in front of you. So when you add a new card, so basically you've hired, are they trolls? I want to see. I think they're trolls in the game. I can't remember. I think they're supposed to be trolls. But anyways, so you hire one and you put the card there and it overlaps with the other two cards you had. So it creates like this pyramid. And when you add a card there with resources, then every card that is attached to it somehow in that pyramid then collects resources. So it's whenever you add a new one that you then replenish everything there. And that system to me was just so cool. Yeah, it was trolls. I'm like, it looks like trolls, but so anyways. And then yeah, you're placing as well, like when you've built your tunnels, you can place rooms that will score points as well. And it's just really, it's really unique. Like I haven't played anything like it ever. And yeah, I just really love it. It's gorgeous.
You
as
really
well.
like polyomino things, don't you?
I do. I like tiles. I like
Yeah.
polyomino stuff, resources,
Very cool.
cool components. So yeah.
So I got number 10.
You've played Cosmic Colonies, right?
Yes. Yes.
That's
Yeah,
one of my
that-
favorite polyomino games.
It's a really good one, and it killed Barron Park for me.
It's a good one.
Yeah, so we're on number 10. So do we do the draw now?
We can do it after Chris because that'll be a full cycle.
Okay.
All right. So my number 10. I played Mountain King on the Dice Tower cruise, and I also played this game with
Ooh.
Peter, Detective City of Angels. So there's different ways you can play this game. I play the competitive one where somebody plays the chisel, I believe they call it. It's basically kind of the GM. And it's because playing that GM version, that chisel, is also fun. You run around the old LA. I love the artwork, by the way. It's Detroit, right? But you run around the old LA. I'm trying to find the board. Here we go. And trying to solve a crime. There's different crimes. The stories are kind of slightly connected sometimes, just kind of depends. It's not a what do you call it? It's not a campaign game or anything like that, but like some characters come back up and things like that, so it's fun. And you're basically racing each other to try to solve the crime. There have been times where you get different information depending on what you're doing. So I'll know like where to go, but I can't get there in time. And I see someone go there, but I know they don't have the information I do, so they can't find what they're looking for. It's really fun. You can also pay money to like snoops that'll listen in on other information other people are getting. It's not snoops. I can't remember what it's called, but
I like Snoops. That's good.
yeah, snoops. But yeah, it's the closest I feel to film noir detective kind of Chinatown kind of thing, and I love that whole genre. So
Yeah, I was gonna say you seem to like detective type games.
yeah, if they're done really well, if they let you feel like you're doing the detecting yourself.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
Van Ryder does amazing stuff narrative wise. Like Evan and AJ, their writing is really good. I don't know if
Yeah,
you're familiar with Final Girl, but Final Girl just showed up and really production wise, it's through the roof amazing. They do really good stuff.
Someone's painted those. But yeah, great game. Great game.
Fun. Cool.
So that was number 10.
That was
so
number 10.
you want to do the drawing?
Yeah. So I believe Katia has all the people from the Facebook poll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to send these names over to you of all the people 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people that have dropped a 42 in the comment. Give me 1 second.
Whilst you do that, I'll put on some flashy eyes.
Do you want me to send them in the Discord?
Yeah, in Discord.
Oh, okay.
Oops. There we go. Rest of the show like this.
Love it. Yeah. And then you'll be in the hospital tomorrow for blindness in your left eye.
I can't keep those in for that long. I have a big brow, but not that big. Oh no, I lost it. Now it's flashing down there.
All right.
Having another
There we
technical malfunction.
Nope. I just dropped my eyeball. Is something normal people say. Uh-oh, what was that? Something fell.
It wasn't your light or your camera, so good job. All right, so Katya has all the names. You have the 20. God, how many people? Take Chris out of that one. Take
Yeah, I took mine
you
out.
out of that one.
What?
Right? So you
I
got
can't
20
win?
in there. What? You're not winning.
can't
You're
win?
not eligible to win. Not
I
happening.
changed my vote then.
Not happening. Who else was in here? Donnie, Andrew. Fantastic. Love you guys. All right. So with those people and the people that I just sent you, I do believe that was fantastic. Katya, it's on you. Who won?
All right. Give me a sec.
We haven't even announced what the hell it is. We're giving appropriately. The winner is getting a $42 gift card to Amazon.
All right. We have a winner. Dan, hold on. I don't know if I can pronounce this. Hun. Okay, I'm just going to spell it out. Dan, HUNDYCZ, or Z, as you say.
So Dan, he owns DPH Games.
Oh, that we're at QSCon.
At QSCon.
Yep. I remember Dan. Fun.
Cool. All right, well, Dan won.
Cool.
And hopefully you'll use it to buy one of the board games we've mentioned tonight.
Right. Yeah.
Well, one of the board games Katya and I have mentioned tonight. None of yours are for sale, right?
Right.
That's false. Only 2 of mine so far have been out of print. All of my other ones are pretty easy to get.
All right. So then we are back to, and thanks for entering, everybody.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
Yeah, we should do that more often. Chris, what was the last one you just went over? I already forgot.
I did number 10, so that was Detective.
City. Oh, right, Detective. Just keeping track. Cool. All right, so on to number 9, I guess?
Yes, that would be you.
It's also a harder one to find.
You're so brutal.
I'm sorry, but they're really good. We were talking about Base Camp earlier, and for those that were at Base Camp, I think in 2019, I had my copy there, and it was a hit, mostly with Ian Moss. But the next one on my list, again, reverse alphabetical in no particular order, is called Safranito. I've definitely talked about it on the show before.
It sounds familiar.
How do you spell that?
Just saffron. You'll be fine. It'll come up.
No, FF, I would think.
Just one F.
Or
it's an F?
Not PH. Yeah.
There we go. 2020 or 2010?
I would say 2010. There you go. It's getting a remake. I don't know what the remake is. I know it's coming out soon, but
looks like 2020.
It should have been out, I thought. The game, hold on. The game, everybody go back one. The game, each person has their own player color of chips. Those poker chips, they're like clay composite kind of chips, and they have a hole in the center. The board it has this little ledge on it. I don't know if you can zoom in on that picture, but you'll see a ledge around the board.
Hi, Will.
Hey, Will.
Just showed
up. How you doing? Good to see you.
You want me to zoom in on what? The edge?
If you could zoom in, yeah, the edge. So the edge of the board there.
Oh yeah.
There's a lip, right? So on your turn, your clay chips on the other side, which you can't see, have some sort of denomination from 10 to 60, I believe it is. And you throw them face down. You're not allowed to throw over the board. You have to stay behind the board, but you kind of flick them onto the board and they'll land on hopefully one of those ingredients. It's considered in the ingredient if you can see part of the bowl through the hole of the chips. You're trying to collect resources. There you go. You're trying to collect resources, those resources to fulfill orders for people that are trying to make a dish or whatever, ginger and saffron and cardamom and whatever it is. But you're throwing the chips out there and you're trying, it ends up being kind of like an area majority. When you flip over the chips, whoever has the most in that thing gets to pick from the cards that are available. And then in the center of the board, there are 4 different spots that are specific actions. Draw a new card, get first player marker, throw another chip, something like that. The game's super fun, easy to play. It does have paper money, which I know a lot of people don't like. Yeah, but the game's fantastic. Hopefully it'll be more readily available with the new reprint. I'm sure it's the same theme, just probably not called Safranito anymore. But a lot of fun.
Well, this is Safradino. Oh, that's different.
Nope, not it. That is not my recommendation.
Definitely different.
Nope, not it.
All right.
Yeah.
Number 8.
Number 8?
Number 8 for me. I've talked about this one before. It's Trismegistus.
Oh, yeah.
Tris. Just start with Tris and it'll show up. Trismegistus. I'm not going to try and explain it because I've tried that before and I don't do a very good job. Just buy the game and play it. That's my recommendation there. Yeah, because it's a beast to learn, but once you start, it's like, oh yeah, this all makes sense. The iconography looks overwhelming, but it's really not. It's just symbols. And yeah, you're basically just brewing potion and following the flow of things, and it's just beautiful. It's so well done. So well done.
You like potion games, apparently.
I do like potion games. Can't you tell?
It's also heavy, right? Like the box itself, the components is actually a heavy box.
Yeah, because there's some those tiles there that are pretty thick, and there's a lot of dice in there as well, and cardboard. So yeah, it's a heavy game. So, yeah,
very cool.
So I'm not gonna say any more about it. Just get the game. It's good.
So my number 8 or our number 8.
Yeah, no, that was 8. You're on to number 7.
Okay. So our number 7. This is actually where my dwellings would have been, but since Katya took that spot, I've replaced many games, and so now we're looking at Crusaders. I Will Be Done. I don't think either one of.
I had that on my list, and I took it off because I knew you'd have it on there.
Have you played it?
Yeah, love it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I've never played it.
It's another Rondel game.
Yep.
It always, every time people look at it, they think, oh, you'll be fighting Crusaders and stuff. It's not fighting. You don't fight. In fact, you're all Crusaders. You're just kind of like trying to be the best Crusaders, which I know the theme is a little issue-y, but you don't really do anything related to that. But so yeah, it's a Rondel game. So you have pegs on your board. You can upgrade these actions. So like this one right here, you only have one action. But if you upgrade it, if you flipped it, it'll look like this. You have 2 different actions. And I could choose to put one of these pegs towards travel and 2 of these pegs towards building. You don't have to just choose between either one. You can split up the pegs, and that's how well you can do those things. You can build these buildings off of them. If you get the old Kickstarter one like I did, you get plastic and wood. I don't know what it comes with in retail, though. Like, I have both of these. I have the wood ones and I have the plastic ones that they have. Oh, and it comes with these coins, or at least the Kickstarter one did. Yeah, and then they have the plastic. I always play with the plastic ones, but I could see playing with the wood ones.
So if you don't know what to do with your wooden components,
I still want to keep them. I keep everything, just like Mike. I just open it and play it, unlike Mike.
You can't prove that I don't.
They're still in the plastic.
No, my Crusaders is open. It's right there. I'm
Oh,
looking at it.
I just mean all your other games.
No, what? It's all open. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, it's about running out there, building different types of buildings. There's benefits to different spots. Yeah, it's a great game. Rondels, man, that gets me every time.
Yeah, you should play.
I don't think I'd paint these. Like, I'm not saying they did a bad job. These looks like they did a lot of good job here, but I don't know if I'd paint it because the colors in the original game are so vivid.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of taking out those. I mean, orange is my favorite color, so can't paint over my orange bits. Trying to get to show it. Yeah, like that's what the game looks like.
Mhm.
It's a little red. They put a filter on it, but it's actually orange and all. But anyway.
Cool.
No, the game's great. You should definitely try Carrara, and if you haven't, Murano. Murano, it's got that. It's sort of a rondel, but the way that the boats move around.
Murano's really good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I need to try that one.
Yeah, that was really good.
All right.
We're on to number. Hang on. Chris just ended.
6?
Yeah, we're on to number 6 with Michael. You only have 2 left to choose, so
yep.
Choose
your 2 best, Mike.
I said I'm running from bottom to top. There's a whole. I'm only going to end up on 30. So there's 29 more games that I put in here that I'm not going to be able to talk about.
So these next 2 are your favorites.
So this is the incentive for people to join the Discord because we're going to share them in there.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
There's some good ones.
And
Yeah,
the
I have
link
some
to the
good ones
Discord
left
is in
too.
our description. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, join
Yeah.
the Discord after. We hang out in the back cave and we talk about stuff, mostly make fun of each other. It's fantastic. All right, so the next one up on my list then would be Run, Fight, or Die. Another Richard Lanius game, just dice rolling Yahtzee style, trying to survive as long as you can and end up, last person standing, or collect a certain amount of followers and cross the finish line based on the deck and how the deck is managed. The way the boards are set up, you have your individual board with 3 different zones. Your character has some sort of ability, and you roll your dice, and the icons on the dice do something. Baseball bats hit the front row, guns hit multiple. If you collect a certain number of books, you can draw certain cards. If you collect a certain number of whatever else, you can do something else.
Which version?
That version, I played them both. I like that one a little bit better, although the second edition, I think, might streamline things a little bit. I've only played it once. But yeah, I very rarely will play it with the big bad monster. I will just play kind of like a last man standing kind of thing. But the monster actually holds the cards, and you draw whenever you go to fight the monster comes up. You actually take a card off of its mini. But yeah, every round, the zombies will move 1 step closer to you, and you'll automatically add 3 zombies to zone 3 in addition to whatever other zombies are being added. It gets very dire very quickly, but it's super fun.
Neat.
Again,
Never heard of it.
the iconography is there. If you look at one of the player boards on the left, you'll see certain icons. The icons depict what can trigger in each zone. So like there's the run, which is the yellow. There's the bat, which is the orange. There's the gun, which is the green. And then you have the followers, which is brown, and the blue, which is book. And the more followers or the more books you roll, the better the reward. If you could find an image of the player board. Yeah, so on the right there, you could also change off it. That's great.
I didn't know what was the player board. So
on the right there, it'll tell you. So there's the 3 different zones, right? And if you look at even the pictures, like zone 3, it's farther away, right? Zone 2 is a little closer, and then zone 1, they're almost on you, and then your character goes underneath it. But every round, the zombies, whatever's in zone 3 is going to move to 2, whatever's in 2 is going to move to 1, and whatever's in 1 is going to hit you. So you're trying to knock out zone 1 as quickly as possible. To try and survive longer. And the bat is only useful in zone 1. It does 2 hits. Each zombie takes 1 hit to kill. But you can only use the bats in zone 1 unless you have a special ability. Run, the yellow runner, just moves a zombie back 1. So it gives you another round of just kind of prolonging the inevitable. And then the gun is just 1 hit in any zone that you're using it in. So the iconography really works. Especially right there with those 3. And then the books and the followers, there's a little card that you look at. The first thing you do is roll this 1 die and something will happen. And then you flip over the board and it'll go over the books and the followers and the combinations of such. And then like right there on the bottom, you have your character. The character's got a special ability. So if at any point you roll 3 zombies and 2 guns, you can trigger its special ability. But throughout the game, when you're rolling, any zombies that are rolled are locked. You can't re-roll them, and they'll be added to your zone 3 at the end of your round, in addition to 3 zombies. So you'll always get 3, and then you'll get whatever zombies you rolled that round to. Then as the turns go, people could be sending zombies your way as well. So it gets pretty bad pretty quickly. But again, it's super easy to learn. You're up and playing it really quickly. The fleeing is a little wonky, but if at any point you need to like flee because things are getting a little too dire, you draw a flee card, and it's usually going to add stuff to your zone, and then you move along. But you get loot and you get stuff to make you better and make guns hit 2 instead of 1. Molotov cocktails that just light up an entire zone. So the stuff that you're getting along the way, it feels, you get that little rush of holy crap, I'm going to die next turn if something doesn't happen. But it's super fun to play and super quick to learn.
And to be clear, the version you like is the one they don't sell anymore.
I'm sure the version they do sell is as good. I'm partial to the first one.
Just make it sure.
I like the art in the second one. The art in the second one is definitely nicer. But I've only played it once. I played that one multiple times, and I enjoy that one because I played it more. It is not the clock tower from Back to the Future, although it does look like it.
It kind of looks like it, yeah.
It does.
All right.
Nice.
We're on 2. That was 6.
That was 6.
It's number 5.
Number 5 from me. It's Castles of Burgundy.
Good one.
Great game.
That is a game.
So for those who haven't played Castles of Burgundy, get it, first of all. It's inexpensive and it's freaking awesome. You have your personal tableau, whatever you want to call it. And during the game, you're acquiring tiles. Yay. Somebody's favorite. It is so good. You're acquiring tiles that you're placing down on your tableau. So you have like that little holding zone at the bottom that allows you to hold up to 3 only. And basically you're putting them there before you get to place them on your tableau. And when you place them, it activates an ability that's corresponding to that tile. And then when you fill regions or areas of the same color, then you score. So anyways, and that's basically how the game works, is you're collecting tiles and placing them there. There's a little bit more to it, but yeah, it's the iconography is intuitive. It's just so cool when you get to have a turn where you're buying tiles with your little, I call them nuggets, but they're like ores or whatever at the top there on the top left. You get to use those to buy from like the central smaller market of tiles in the middle. So when you get to like do that, and then you place something down, and then you're using a tile's ability to place another tile, which then allows you to do something else. So it like you end up having these like massive turns of like super cool chain of events. And that is so satisfying when it happens. I love that game. So
Good one.
Yep.
Great.
Good pick.
Not a crossover with you, Mike?
No, not on mine.
For shame.
It's a good game.
It's a great game.
We're at number 4 with me, right?
Yep.
We are.
All right. Number 4 then is Concordia.
I was wondering if one of you would put that.
Nobody else?
Nope.
No, I knew you'd have this one on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
They just let out a mobile version of this. I've been playing it like crazy. Great game. Not a lot of games like it. It has you get a deck of cards that are your actions. Run out of them, collect them up again as a turn. So I guess it's not really deck building, even though you do add cards to that, right? But in deck building, you draw just like random 5 cards. You get to use the whole deck and choose which card out of that to use each time. So you're not just stuck to that random outcome of whatever you draw, right? Go around building up cities, grabbing resources, selling them, expanding. And in the end, the best part is that your score is comes from the kind of cards that you've grabbed and the way that you've gotten out here and what you've accumulated. So really great game. I very much enjoy it.
Cool.
Good one. And again, base game, right? Like there's no need for the expansions. It just rocks as a base.
I have the expansion that I think it introduces salt, and I still haven't played it. Like I still haven't learned it to play it. I remember I learned it one time, and then I brought it over to a game group, and we didn't end up playing the game. People didn't want to play it at that point, and then I forgot what I learned because I didn't play it right away. So, All right. So that was number 4. Hey, so we're down now to, I guess Mike doesn't count for this, but we're down to our number 1s, personal number 1. So it'd be fun to try to guess that. Sort of.
Mine's actually my number 2.
Because I took away your number 1. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's no way to try and guess what Mike's number 1 is because he didn't dedicate himself.
No, and it's probably something that's out of print I've never heard of before. So why would I try and guess?
First of all, no. Second of all, I told you I took my number 1 out.
No, I know. So he's
Right.
asking us to guess what you put as your like what's going to show up next.
Oh, you got no shot.
No, I know. That's
Yeah.
what I said. It's probably an out of print old game I've never heard of.
Nope. I've definitely talked about it quite often. It is not out of print.
And it is.
It's a 1 versus all.
I don't know.
Come on.
I don't know.
Nothing. No guess. Nothing.
No guess.
Fury of Dracula.
No.
I don't know a lot of 1 versus all games. So
Give me another hint.
it's like
This one should be played next time you have an opportunity. It's the one where you crash land on the alien planet and the alien jump.
Oh, is it are you picking Battlestar Galactica or are you picking Dark Moon?
No.
No.
Although Dark Moon is on my list.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I don't know.
Not alone.
Oh, okay.
Not
I
alone.
don't-
Okay. Yeah, you've talked about this.
I talk about it quite often.
Strangely
Was
enough,
I a
you are
host then, or
alone.
was that before me? Is that can I use that as an excuse? Maybe I wasn't a host.
See,
then.
Kate got it. Thank you, Kate. Yeah, this game's fantastic. It's super fun. I've had many games that are memorable. It definitely will help with the right group. But you start out with the top row there of the top 5, or 1 through 5 as locations. You each have one of each of them. The one person is the alien. The alien is trying to trap you at different locations. You, as the humans, are trying to escape without getting caught too often. On your turn, you play a card, maybe 2, but you play a card face down, and that's where you're going to go for that turn. And then the alien gets to take their chips and go to the different locations trying to get you. If they catch you, you get hit, you lose some life. If you lose too much life, my track goes up faster. If you get to go to a location and I don't, or the alien doesn't catch you, then you get to trigger that location's effect. Sometimes has a beacon that goes on and off, which ramps up your track. There are cards played on the alien's turn that enhances their ability, can play multiple chips to the board rather than just the one. The game is worth a go. It definitely will help if you have somebody teach it that knows rather than trying to learn it from the rule book. It's not hard to play. Across the game, you will end up maybe getting some of that, if you remember that bottom row, 6 through 10, which will enhance your deck, which makes it harder for the alien to catch you because the alien is trying to figure out, all right, well, what you play stays face up until you get to collect your cards back. So if I look at you and you have the 2, 3, 4 down, well, then I know you're either going to 1 or 5. And if I look at somebody else and they have like the 3, 4, 5 down, well, maybe I'm going to the 1 because there's 2 of you have the 1 still available. Based on where you are in the game state, you're trying to either enhance yourself or trigger the beacon or do different things. And the way the you guys, again, I'm playing this as if I'm the alien because I love playing the alien, but whoever's on the human team, everything that's said must be loud enough for the alien to hear. So there's no sign language, there's no whispering, there's no secrets. If you're going to say something, you're saying it out loud so the alien can hear it. So you can bluff, you can double bluff. No, we should all go to the lair. You should all go to this place. The game's fantastic.
I don't remember ever seeing this unless like last time you talked about it, we didn't pull pictures, but this all looks new to me.
Oh, it's so much fun. And there's 2 expansions, and I don't know if they're necessary. I think the game shines as just a base game, just to play it and have a fun, let me try and catch you kind of game. It's fun.
Very cool. Number 2,
which it's funny because my number 2, after several plays, it's like it's almost dethroned 5 Tribes, but not quite. So it's really close to being one of my favorite games. Rajas of the Ganges.
Good one.
Yeah. It's a fantastic game for those who haven't played it. You're basically working on 2 tracks, and the winner is whoever gets their tokens on both tracks to meet, or basically cross. So you're racing, I think it's a money track and a wisdom or something. I don't know, something to do with like, I forget what it's called. The bottom one there with all the, so you're trying to get those to meet to win the game. So you're, you have dice that you use. Basically, it's a worker placement, but where you place your worker, typically there is a cost associated with it in dice. So you're spending the dice that you've rolled. And you can spend them to go and get some tiles to build in your, so I don't know if you can go to like the pictures, what shows your like personal display, that thing there. So you start from again, pointing at my screen, the palace that's at the top. I'm just pointing at you people. And then you'll purchase tiles that you place along the way. And then when you reach the edges, there are symbols. So it gives you bonuses. Sometimes it's either it's points, it's money, or it's it'll give you extra dice to right away. Basically, you grab dice from the pool, you roll them, you add them to your little whatever she's called. She's holding on all your dice. the little display. Those things. So you place all your dice there. And so those things will earn you points. There's like buildings that you can upgrade, that when you place the tiles that have those buildings, they'll score you points. There's a river full of bonuses that you can travel on, and then you get whatever bonus you land on. Aside from that, as you move up the track, the money track or the other track that I was talking about, you can unlock new workers. So you add to your pool of workers, you can unlock, getting more dice, stuff like that. So like there's just so much going on in the game as you go on. There's a karma track as well that will allow you to change a pip value, I believe, something like that. Anyways, it's so cool the way that they did it, where it's like you have to have those two tracks meet, because you can decide to go like the money route and get further that way and then only need a little bit of the other one, or vice versa. The other track, it seems slower, but the gaps, like you see there on the image, the gaps are bigger. So anyways, it's a beautiful game. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like a little elephant.
I know. That's the first player marker.
That was actually one of the trivia questions at QSCon.
Yep. What animal was in?
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I need to play that one.
It's really good.
All right, and then finally is mine. It'll be number 1, and that's just because of the nature of our order. Obviously, it's not number 1 out of all of ours, but mine is Orleans.
I've never played that.
Yeah, so it's a lot of people put Altiplano above it. I played Orleans before Altiplano because it came out before or whatever, but and for whatever reason, the theme sticks to me a little bit more. I enjoy it more. But it doesn't have, so like well, let me explain. It's a bag builder. You can get these different kinds of people, craftsmen and merchants or traders, I think they're called, sailors and knights and scholars. You can go up, the scholarly track, and you can go around putting out I forget what these are called. You put down little houses, basically. Guild houses, I think you are. And you draw your workers that you've been getting from over here and put it on your board to do different actions.
Yep.
So it's, basically like a deck builder, only with workers, little wooden disc. Well, there aren't a lot of images. They just show how they pack it up, and then that's about it. Oh, there we go. So that's your player board right there. So if you want to, go across the water, you have to have all 3 of these workers in that spot, kind of thing. Oh, they got little custom workers. That's fun. Normally they're little circle ones, but yeah, and I can totally see why some people would pick Altiplano over this one. I think it's the same designer, and it's a bag builder. But the reason why Altiplano feels like, I said whenever I described it, you could play a completely different game every time. Almost, you could go for something different. You can't really do that with Orleans. It always kind of feels the same, but I like the feel a lot. So, I mean, you could try different strategies, of course, but it doesn't feel so different every time you play. But that's not always a bad thing. So,
cool.
So Orleans.
So that summarizes our top 42.
Top 42 games.
Top 42, which will grow into a top 100 once we've put everything on Discord.
Probably more than that, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have 42, but I have a fair bit I didn't mention. So.
Yeah, none of my extras even crossed. So Mike and I don't think we crossed it. Oh, no, we crossed in one, didn't we?
5 tribes.
5 tribes.
Right. I ended up, so Chris and I ended up crossing over 3 times. And then Michael and I just twice.
Not bad. I've only got 1 with you and 1 with Chris.
And there's a lot of games that might be crossovers, but I know a lot of mine that I mentioned one of you or both of you hadn't played. Same for the other that you mentioned. I haven't played a lot of the ones that you guys popped up. So,
But you mentioned Teotihuacan, which I have, but it's further down my list. So
right. Well,
thanks, Donnie.
thanks. So yeah, that was I forgot to put the banner back up, but that's what we were doing was the full 42 top 42 games of all time so far.
It's casual,
because
you know.
Are we gonna talk about the other 29 that I had on my list in the Discord, or we're just gonna post what
I would just post them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just post them, and you could
People
talk
can
about it
comment.
in the Discord. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we said this went pretty late, right? 2 hours and 50 minutes so far.
I would talk about the movie we watched and just
you want to talk about I see Mike's face. I'm worried about I don't know if I want to have this conversation.
Why?
All right, so
what do you think?
Well, let's put the spoiler banner first.
That's true. No, don't rattle. That'll
No,
take another
Corey,
2 hours for him to
I'll
get
rattle
back.
them off in the Discord. Come in the Discord. I'll tell you what the other ones are.
All right, let's talk about Shang-Chi. I think that's how you say it.
Shang-Chi.
There's a hyphen in between, but yes.
Is there?
Yep.
Oh yeah, because it's Marvel. It's gonna have a hyphen.
Okay.
Spider-Man, Iron Man. Yeah, it's just 2 words, no hyphen. But anyway, all 3 of us have seen it. It's on Disney Plus now, available for free if you got Disney Plus. So not really free, but yeah, not premium or whatever it is. Thoughts? Just basically, okay. Give me a 1 to 10. 10 being Endgame awesomeness, and 1 being Thor 2, Iron Man 3.
Wait. Iron Man 3 was not that bad. Not great, but it was not that bad.
You know where I'm getting with this, though.
Sure.
So what's your number?
Me?
Yeah, both.
I'd put her right in the middle.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me it would be more like a 7.5.
Yeah, 7.5 sounds about right for me. Maybe 8.
Yeah,
but I feel like I'm saying 8 because it's new.
No, for me, the reason why I would say 8 is because it felt so different from the other ones. Like it just had a refreshing kind of feel to it.
My guess is that's why he's saying 5.
I know, but he's wrong. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong.
It's the Mike's wrong section.
I'm fine with that, and I agree with you that it felt fresh. I liked that it was a fresh feel, but man, it was way too friggin' predictable. The whole story was just, I've heard it before. It's the same. You knew what was going to happen. There was nothing new about it. Like, it was cool to have Wong. It was great to have Slattery. Like, that was really, it was cool. Like, okay, great. Nice little nod. But there weren't, like, so before the episode, before we started, I watched the Legends, right? The Legends of telling about the 10 Rings and Black Widow and Yondu and the Ravagers. Like, I watched all of those because there were a few that I hadn't seen yet. And man, like, when Tony sees Romanoff for the first time and she's fighting in the ring and he just looks at Pepper, was like, I want one. Like, they're just these lines that come out with watching everything, like the Hulk in Avengers and Cap and Tony in Civil War and Bucky. Like, there's all of these moments throughout the Marvel universe where it's like, man, that was epic. And I didn't get any of that in this movie. It was fun to watch. It was the dragon fights, like all of that stuff was fun. I don't know about the CGI. There were moments where it was like, all right, wait a minute. You purposefully showed me that the windows were blown out in the van. But then when we're looking at the van later, the windows are all there. Like, even and Marvel does a really good job of paying attention to detail. And I don't know if it was rushed or what, but I was never really drawn into the movie as I was where Cap has the shield over Tony in Civil War and he's about to smash his face and I stopped breathing. Like there were none of those moments in this movie.
Okay,
and the
but
story-wise was just,
to be fair, Cap holding that shield over him like that's a buildup of like 4 movies.
sure. But
I mean,
even
you're
take it
comparing.
back to any of the other movies. There were
You should be
multiple-
comparing this to Ant-Man, Captain America 1,
Sure.
Iron Man 1. Just
Sure.
like if you just compared those to them.
Sure.
Every moment you've called out has been from an expansion that's been built upon from other stuff.
I guess, and maybe we're spoiled in having all of that stuff together, but even putting it up against Cap and putting it up against Iron Man 1s, even Ant-Man, I don't think it didn't do it.
I liked it more than
Yeah,
Captain America 1.
No
To-
way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Not more than Captain America 2, which was the best Captain America.
Agreed.
But
But
I
for
liked it better.
me, I don't know. And maybe it's because I don't know. Like I don't watch a lot of anime cartoons and stuff like that. So I'm not exposed to, when you say like, oh, I've heard that story a million times. To me, it's like, no. For me, it's like this was new for me. But just the way, like they had me at the original fight between him and her when they meet. I was sold. Like as soon as I saw that interaction.
With the sister?
No, the parents.
Oh, okay.
When he explains how they met, and they have that fight, like that alone, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be cool."
Yeah, have you ever seen the movie Hero with Jet Li?
No.
Yep.
I think you'd like it if you like that moment because it immediately reminded me of that kind of thing. I'm a big Kung Fu fan, so that might be another reason why I enjoyed this because there was a lot of connection to that kind of stuff. But yeah, that moment where you see like they slow it down and they look in each other's eyes and through a fight they kind of fall in love kind of thing. That's very much like the kind of mythos and stuff that they have in that world, that I love. So I mean, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon does stuff like that. Even the older kung fu movies and stuff. I used to be like as a kid, I would just turn on TV and whenever you had only channels, channels to pick from, and you just had to watch whatever was on. Yeah, with the big knob, and I'd find a kung fu movie, usually halfway through it, and just watch whatever marathon they had going on. Didn't know the names of anybody or what was going on. Just enjoyed the whole myth and the legends and stuff that went with that. So I thought it felt like that kind of thing mixed in with Marvel, basically. So best of both worlds.
It seemed it was for me, and you kind of said it, like it felt like movies that you've seen, right? Like storyline just feels like, yeah, okay, they meet, they fight, they fall in love, they have kids, the sister and brother now are things, and like everything about it just felt so, yep, okay, that made sense. Like it all was just, I don't know.
And I love the Awkwafina's character with the jokes and the best friend thing and all that. I do see what you're saying, as in like there was no moment where it was a twist or anything to me. But I didn't miss it either because I was so caught up in enjoying what was going on.
I think the best part about the whole thing were I did not like Awkwafina's character. I thought she was annoying. I'm also not a fan. I think the best part about it were the tags at the end. That was the most informative of the entire thing, was knowing that there's this, like having, obviously the spoiler trailer is up, but having Bruce and having Danvers there, right? And then they zoom into the ring and there's this beacon going off and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? That tag, the sister being on the throne, again, predictable, right? because of her character throughout the movie, it all felt like, of course, she's going to rebuild her father's legacy in the 10 rings, whatever. But that moment where you're learning about the rings and there's something going on there and it left it kind of like, oh shit, what's going on? That meant more or did more to me, like that seat up moment where like, oh wait, what's going on? Than the entire movie did.
Yeah, I mean that definitely. Wong was basically the only real tie-in throughout the movie and Marvel, but that's kind of okay in my opinion. I mean, it's
not necessarily though, because when we first meet Tony in Iron Man 1, like there's the 10 rings. They call themselves the 10 rings,
right?
So I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Iron Man 3, you got Slattery and the 10 rings, like that symbol. We've seen that symbol multiple times, and it's kind of been taken down this road to be now what is the real Mandarin instead of, you know, Slattery's acting Mandarin. So I mean that's kind of been there, but again, it just the movie was kind of like there wasn't that. It all felt similar. It all felt predictable until now we're starting to learn about these rings. Like, what are the rings? And there's something going on there that now we're going to learn more about. That got me. That was good. The movie itself was blah.
The predictable part. I could say the same thing about Captain America 1.
Sure.
Like they said, here's the bad guy. Here's the thing he's got. Here's Captain America. Now he's got powers. Now he kicks the bad guy's ass.
Sure.
And he has to self-sacrifice. Like all of that, knew it was coming. Felt the same way. And still a great movie, right?
It felt so like, sure, you have the character, like the hero's journey, right? And you have this arc, and they're going to hit a down point, and they're going to crash to the bottom, and they're going to have to build themselves up again. Like Iron Fist loses everything and then builds it. Like it's all kind of the same kind of arc, right? But like even with the father and the breaking open of the cave and the demons coming out, and there was that one moment where the guy with the one arm, Razor Fist, I don't know what they're actually calling him, but he was like, yeah, I'm not falling for that. Like we're gonna have to work together. Like even that was kind of like, ugh.
That wasn't any different than like Korg and Ragnarok.
What?
You know, whenever like when he's like, it's okay, we can rebuild, and then boom, and the whole thing explodes. You go, oh, never mind, we can't do that. Like they throw in the little jokes every now and then to.
But that came across as like a punchy kind of line, whereas Razor Fist with the whole like, we need to fight together or they're going to kill us. And he's like, I'm not falling for that. And then like the Soul Sucker comes and he's like, all right, no, we need to work together. It didn't feel the same as Korg and that whole, like, I guess you kind of could predict that was going to drop at that moment because that was the setup. This just felt kind of like, ugh, God.
I thought it felt the same.
Nah, no way.
Did you like Awkwafina's character, the little sidekick friend, Katya?
Wasn't she his girlfriend?
No, just friend. They were just friends.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
The one who's like driving the bus?
Yeah.
He even said, forget, I think it was his dad or somebody said, you know, and they were like, no, we're just friends.
The grandmother. Was like, when are you gonna get
yeah, no, I felt the whole time like there was more there. But anyways,
I was happy there wasn't.
I liked her actually a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy there wasn't. I liked the idea that they just had a male and a female who were friends, and you didn't have to go through this whole, you know, will they, won't they, Rachel Ross bullshit. It was just, yeah, they're just two characters existing, and you didn't have to have that in there. I thought that was great.
But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was thoroughly entertained.
Yep. All right. Well, that's our segment of Mike is Wrong.
Hey, for once, it's not me in that seat because I'm usually the one who disagrees.
It could quite possibly stem from the fact that we've been spoiled, that we've seen 26 Marvel movies. Right, they've all kind of led up to the big end game and the big Infinity War, and I'm hopeful that like Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be better and bigger and different and trying to do different stuff. Like Doctor Strange 2 is going to be nuts. But this one just, from what we've come from, right? First introduced to, I mean, you could argue Hulk, but Iron Man kicking this off and the journey that all of these characters have taken. I know I get your point of it being like compare it to the first Iron Man, the first Captain America. Like I get it, but like Black Panther 1, epic.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
true.
yeah.
Not so much.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I would say Black Panther is better than this movie, but
Oh, for sure.
yeah. But I think we're going to see a lot of that as they start bringing in new, new people, new stuff, and some of the things they've mentioned. Echo, for instance, I'm looking at the Miss Marvel stuff. They're introducing new characters, but they're doing it through series instead of movies, and I think that's pretty clever because we're not going to be comparing them to Endgame or something like that, right?
Yep.
It'll feel like Sylvie. When Sylvie showed up in Loki, nobody was like, it's not as good as, like you didn't compare it to whenever the Cap holding the shield up or anything. It just felt like this is fine. You can introduce a new character this way, and it's not compared to that kind of thing. So, I think anytime you have a movie that's going to have a new character, new origin story that they have to tell, you're going to have that little step back kind of thing.
I get it, but I don't 100% agree because we meet Kang for the first time, and that dialogue that he's doing for Loki and Sylvie, like that whole thing, it's a new character, but man, he nails it. Like that was pretty damn good. You know what I mean? I feel it's definitely going to be different movie wise than series wise, but
No, I'm saying it's smart of them to introduce characters for the first time in a series, because it doesn't feel as like everything has to stand on that one character, even though it kind of does.
Sure.
It doesn't. You're not comparing it to what's come before as much.
You know what's funny is that I remember when we talked about Kang, and I was the odd one out. It was like I didn't buy his character. Like it was just, and you guys mentioned the apple that he was eating. Well, recently I watched a show and it was talking about cliches in movies, and the eating of the apple is one of them.
Yep.
And how it portrays that arrogance of like not giving a crap.
Yep.
So, when I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, like Kang.
Yep. Smart. It was very smart.
So anyways.
It reminds me of, did you ever see the movie Shaq with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yes.
So there's a moment where the two bad guys talk, like they meet for the first time. And one bad guy is like a high up, rich white dude. The other guy is like a gangster living in the, he's got like a little drug empire or whatever. But they're talking. And at one point, the gangster guy sits on the toilet during their conversation. And that just totally sets like a dominant, like, I don't care. Like you get so much information from that person, more than you should, I guess. But you get so much information from that interaction, and nobody says anything about it, but it's right there.
Yep.
And it's one of those moments that's just like a clever way of telling you a lot of stuff about a character without speaking it out.
Yeah.
Made me think of that. Okay, so why don't we call it a wrap? Because I have to get ready for BGG Con. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Are you?
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fun. 5
days of gaming. Finally, I get to be the one that comes back with convention story.
Yeah. Gee, I'm glad you're going away. Now the Discord will be quiet for a couple days.
Ha ha ha. Yeah, you can try to catch up to my 28th level.
Never.
What are you anyway?
I don't know, 17, 18 maybe.
You need to get in there and talk some more.
Yeah, I'll do it this week while you're gone.
Great.
We'll try and keep the party alive.
Yeah. No rants from me throughout the week, I guess.
Oh, you need to post some pictures from the con though.
Yeah, I'll try to do that. Depends on the connection.
A selfie with you and Peter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can I see Peter and Brad there, and probably a few other people?
I think Lance is going too.
Yep, Lance is
Mhm.
going. Try to avoid Lance. No, I'm kidding. He doesn't watch this late anyway.
Talk to him. Ask him about his Battlestar Galactica experience at QsCon.
All right, will do.
Yeah.
I'll get the story.
Cool.
So anyway, that's our 42nd episode.
Amazing, huh?
Yeah.
42 shows.
The fact that it makes no noise, I think, is even better.
It's so disappointing.
That's the beauty of it.
That's why I got the.
I'm impressed this lasted an entire episode, though. Usually those things just die. Like they just worn out.
Yeah, you actually have to blow pretty hard from. I think normally they have thinner tubes.
Yeah, those thinner tubes, man.
There we go. I'll put it in for the last bit.
Oh,
Yeah, I love it.
King Koopa.
I feel like you're more princess than anything else.
Or Rosalina? Is that the other one? There's
I don't know.
Princess Peach and the one in the blue
The
dress.
one with the pink dress.
Right. That's Peach, and then there's I think it's Rosalina is the one in the blue dress.
Thanks, Peter.
Well, thank you, Peter.
I'm also going to skip Discord because I have to get ready. But
All right.
normally, and you guys will be in there. Go over to Discord and we'll hang out for a little bit and talk to people.
And I'll rattle off my other 30 games that I didn't get to talk about
Yes,
because this would be a 7-hour show.
I know. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for the
Mhm.
Yeah,
people that
congratulations,
stayed on.
Dan, for winning the $42
Yeah.
Amazon gift card. I'll reach out to you because I know I have your information, so I'll reach out to you.
Great. And hope you enjoyed the intro if you missed it. Brand new
Yeah.
intro. I guess we'll keep that for a little while.
I like that one. That was pretty good.
I put that together real quick before the episode too, so I might tweak it a little bit to make it a little smoother. But
No, it looked good.
cool. All right.
Well, enjoy the
thanks,
con.
everybody. Yeah, thank you. I will. I'll let everybody. I'll pick up one of the two games that we talked about.
One of the
Sounds
two?
Well,
One or
like
two.
half of them are the print. We already went through that.
Yeah, but in the BGG library, it's probably out there, so I can
Yeah.
probably play with them there.
I'd be impressed if they had Spellbound. I don't know how many people really know about Spellbound.
I'll try to remember to look.
I'll send you text.
All right. Talk to everybody later. See you next Monday.
Cool.
Bye.
Anyway, have fun.